Hi, I'm Adina Harpst. Be sure to watch Our Town Tyrone Thursday, December 4th at 8 on WPSU.
Good evening and welcome to Our Town Tyrone. I'm Greg Peterson.
And I'm Carly Gardner, producer here at WPSU.
And we're here tonight raising the funds it takes to purchase, produce, and broadcast the programs you watch in WPSU. Tonight's the 80th edition of the Our Town series. And in the studio are people from Tyrone. They're Tyroneans, Tyronieites, whatever they are. And they're also the people who helped put the show together. So they came up tonight to take your phone calls at 800-245-9779. And if somebody lives out of town, call them up right now and say, go to your computer, watch us at WPSU.org/live. You can see the entire show and the pledge breaks. You can have fun along with us.
And you can chat along with me on Twitter using the hashtag OurTownTyrone, OT Tyrone.
So we got a lot of great stories coming up in the program. You'll learn about parks, you'll learn about the library, you'll learn about schools, you'll learn about all sorts of things you may not have known about your own hometown. Or if you don't live in Tyrone, you'll learn a lot about it. So stay tuned now for Our Town Tyrone. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Mayor Bill Fink. Welcome to our town, Tyrone, Pennsylvania. We are Tyrone, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
Welcome to Tyrone, Pennsylvania. Located in the Bald Eagle Valley at the Little Juniata Water Gap, Tyrone is home to a community that celebrates its rich heritage and is proud of its bright future. Join us as local residents show and tell everything that makes their community a great hometown. Your friends and neighbors welcome you to Our Town, Tyrone. Support for Our Town, Tyrone comes from Martin Oil Company and Martin General Stores, proudly serving central Pennsylvania for over 50 years. The Bullpen Restaurant, Lounge, and Banquet Facility, located in the Tyrone Shopping Center, supporting civic organizations and serving the people of Tyrone and their guests for more than 40 years. American Eagle Paper Mills, producing chlorine-free recycled paper products and committed to the responsible use and protection of our environment. Proud to call Tyrone home. And from viewers like you, thank you.
Hi, my name is Tim Hauser. I'm a native of Tyrone, and I am here to talk about my old boss, Mr. Fred Waring, and I'm going to tell you a few things that you may or may not know about Mr. Waring. Well, of course, everybody knows that Fred Waring taught America how to sing. Leader of Fred Waring and the Pennsylvanians, started here in Tyrone. In 1919, the band started, the Waring Banjo Orchestra, and the rest is history. He's a hometowner who became famous and left us, but never really left us. Was instrumental in helping us along with things like the hospital. During the war, in the 40s, we had the Waring Canteen. And he also, in 1980, when I worked for the Waring organization, helped us with the restoration of Reservoir Park. I met Mr. Waring on his 77th birthday in the state capitol in Harrisburg. I was directing a community glee club called the Ecumen. Mr. Waring invited me to come to his workshop for music teachers. And 4 days into being at the workshop, I was called to his office, and we talked about Tyrone a little bit. And he said, Tim, I've got 3 youth workshops coming up after all of this. Can you stay and be a counselor? So I stayed, and I stayed for the next 4 summers, too. The workshop primarily was a choral workshop, and the kids got to do actual Waring arrangements, also choreography, and just the sheer discipline of what music is like as a business, which was a great foundation for these kids, and actually it's the foundation of the present shows that we have, like Glee and Pitch Perfect and whatnot. I always found Mr. Waring to be a very humble guy, and he was a taskmaster. He used to tell us we had to be on our toes, or he'd be on our toes the next day. But Fred, if he had an opportunity to come back here, he would, and he did, especially when the workshop was based in State College. He would come back here to buy candy at Gardner's for Valentine's Day. And he would come back to visit his mother's grave. He loved Tyrone, and even though he was away, and many of us who have grown up in Tyrone have ended up elsewhere, but ultimately our hearts will always be here, and Mr. Waring was no different.
My name is Cummins McNitt, and I chose to work with WTRN, our local radio station. When I was very young, I would often lay in bed at night and listen to my old transistor radio. I'm from Mount Union, and if the weather conditions were just right, I could sometimes pick up WTRN out of Tyrone. In 1991, my wife and I moved here to Tyrone. One of the first experiences I had was with Carrie Simpson, and Carrie is the owner and the founder of WTRN. And Carrie is a marvelous man. He's an institution in this town, and I don't know what we'd do without him. In 1955, he started WTRN here in Tyrone. He also developed the Allegheny Mountain Network, which is a collection of radio stations from Smethport, Coudersport, Wellsboro, St. Mary's, Shippensburg, Chambersburg, Bellefonte State College. I mean, it covers quite a bit of territory, and of course the flagship is WTRN here in Tyrone. I think the thing that sets WTRN apart from all other radio stations is that it really is the heart and soul of the town.
I ask God's blessing upon you.
They provide a service that you can't get anywhere else. They touch all aspects of the community, and they give you local news, they give you local stories with local people, and they interview them. They have you come into the radio station, they talk to you in a very personable manner. And yeah, sometimes you might think it's a little hokey, but as Dad used to always say, hokey is for everyone. WTRN is everywhere.
Children, for adults.
Every year, our Tyrone Reservoir Park has a great event, Labor Day picnic, and Carrie and the station are there from early in the morning till late in the afternoon all day, and they serve two capacities. Carrie is the MC for the event all day long, but he's also broadcasting live to the community about all the events that are going on at the Labor Day picnic. Every parade that Tyrone has ever had, you can see Carrie and his crew down on the steps of the post office broadcasting live as every group of Cub Scouts, the twirlers, the dancers, the Boy Scouts. He knows everyone's name. He can pull people right out of the crowd, talk to anyone, and he provides a great service for those who can't get out to see the parade. And I've never known a parade he hasn't covered. He always thinks ahead. He streams online his radio shows. Tyrone residents from no matter where you are in the world, across the country, you can tune in and hear your hometown high school football team on a Friday night. That's pretty cool. WTRN is everything that a small town represents. Its ethics, its morals, its compass. They're pretty much our compass.
I'm Nancy Sloss, and I'm here representing the Tyrone Community Players. The Tyrone Community Players began way back in 1936 and stayed together from 1936 till about 1948. During that time, they performed at the Tyrone YMCA Theater, which was a wonderful facility. And about 1990, we regrouped. And it's sort of like one of those old-time movies where they get together and they go, "Kids, let's put on a show." And these people decided they're going to put together another theater group for the community of Tyrone. Everybody and anybody can be a Tyrone community player, and we welcome everyone into the group. We have people from all walks of life. Our core group is rather small. There are really probably 10 hardcore workers that start the production, but then everyone comes to be in the production and it grows.
Stay because this is our home.
We were in the Tyrone YMCA Theater and we thought we'll never leave, and we had to leave because they closed the YMCA. We found 1019 Logan Avenue. It used to be an Elks Lodge back in the 1920s, and then became the Tyrone Library, and now it is the Tyrone Community Players Home. And we're going to put a small theater on the first floor of the building, and it's terrific. We're so excited. We're going to have about 75 to 80 seats, which is small, but that doesn't mean we can't be big. We have 3 stage productions a year. We always have one musical, but it seems everyone loves musicals, so usually 2 sneak in there. And then we have a children's theater, and everyone loves the children's theater. My favorite is to see the little child on stage who does some random gesture, smile, sings out too loud, and brings your heart to life when you see somebody do that. For a small theater, we do have big dreams. One person in our group at one time wanted us to do Peter Pan. We said, great. She said, I want Peter Pan to fly. We said, no way. She said, we can do it, and we did. And it was the most exhilarating experience backstage to be the one that was going to put that hook on that child and push him out a window? Really? But it worked. We want to bring the theater to the community. We want to take them to places that they've never been, places that they hope to go. It's fun from the beginning to the end. It really is an adventure.
Hello, my name is Kristen Barrett, and I'm here to talk about Gardner's Candies. Gardner's Candies has been a fixture in Tyrone for 117 years. It started in 1897 with James Pike Gardner opening his first candy store on Pennsylvania Avenue in the Ward House. Pike was 16 years old when he started his business. He was selling candy, peanuts, popcorn. He even started selling postcards at one point. Pike's candies were all handmade. He added a horse-drawn carriage to transport his candy and popcorn and peanuts to local fairs and carnivals as well. James Pike Gardner created something very special. In the early 1900s, he started decorating boxes with heart-shaped paper, which therein turned into the heart-shaped candy box. And the confectionaires industry credited him with that. Many other candy companies used his idea, but unfortunately, Pike never patented his idea. In the 1920s, Pike moved his storefront to the second location on 10th Street, and it stayed there for about 40 years, and then in the early 70s moved to its current location at 30 West 10th Street, where we now have a candy store, a candy museum, and a full-service ice cream parlor. Our candy is still made locally here in Tyrone and has been for 117 years. Our factory employs 80 people from the surrounding area, and our store in Tyrone employs 15 people from the area. So we have almost 100 jobs just in our Tyrone locations, but we also have 6 other stores in the surrounding area. I've been with Gardner's for 19 years. Our company has such a rich history in Tyrone, and it's just interesting to be able to tell people that aren't familiar with that what our history is. 117 years is a long time, and we hope to be in business for 117 more. Tyrone is such a close-knit community. It's just a friendly, wonderful, warm place, and I hope when people come into Gardner's and shop our stores that that's how they feel, that they receive that warm welcome.
I'm Jim Boffman, and a lifelong resident of Tyrone, and I'm here to discuss or explain, I guess, Soldiers Park, Eagle for Freedom, Eternal Flame, in that order. I remember when I was just a young child, that park was there. It wasn't known then as Soldiers Park. In fact, I don't know exactly what it was known as. It was just a quiet little park on the corner of Lincoln Avenue and 14th Street in Tyrone. In the late 50s, early 60s, there were some monuments placed there. Actually, they're huge rocks with plaques attached to them that list the names of those who gave their lives, gave it all in World War I and World War II and there is a plaque attached for the Vietnam era. Somewhere back 3 years ago, Cody Eccles, a local Tyrone Boy Scout, got it in mind to put a few flagpoles in the park up there with flags representing all the branches of service, and to put a brick or paver vestibule around those flags. Through Cody and his family's efforts, that grew into a monumental project. In fact, it became Eagle Scout of the Year award nationally. It was such a magnificent thing that we didn't want to let it die. From there, we turned it into a project called Eternal Flame, to actually give veterans, not just combat veterans, not just those who sacrificed their life, but anyone, peacetime, wartime service veterans, a chance to be remembered. The big monument, the Eternal Flame monument itself, our plans at this point are a 5-sided or pentagonal-shaped monument with a plaque on each of the 5 sides representing the 5 branches of the military, and culminating with hopefully a flame, or if not a flame, a light at the very top, and several other plaques on the way up. The Eagle for Freedom vestibule with the flags is amazing. It faces 14th Street and Logan Avenue, the corner. The Eternal Flame monument will also be a focal point, actually in the center of the park. Community involvement has been great through the entire project, the Eagle for Freedom and the Eternal Flame project. Our funding comes from selling the brick pavers, the engraved pavers, and through local corporate and business contributions. This Eternal Flame gives families a chance to recognize those who gave up a portion of their life, served their country, maybe didn't go to war, maybe it was a peacetime serving, but it gives that family a chance to recognize each individual. That gives me a real good feeling.
Hi, my name is Tina Foltz. I'm the center manager at the Northern Blair Senior Center. All of our programs mostly are run by myself or volunteers. I have volunteers who help serve, clean up. I have volunteers that come in and teach needlework classes. I have quite a few people who just walked in the door one day and said, "What do you do here?" And then I said, "Why don't you come tomorrow for lunch?" And they've made friends and they come to the activities now. It improves their quality of life, I think. It's not a daycare facility. It's not somewhere where you go when you don't have anything else to do. It's somewhere you go to live, basically. We have a dinner dance once every quarter, so that's always a good time. And we also have a lot of parties. We at least have one party a month. That seems to be everyone's favorite thing. Basically, it's just a lot of music and fun and food, and we just celebrate all day and basically party. We had a 50s day at the center where I had people bring in any 50s memorabilia they had, and we set up a museum. I had a volunteer, Jack Futcher, come in, and he was our soda jerk and made us sodas all day, and we had some 50s style food, diner food. Then we topped it off in the night with a 50s style sock hop, and it was a really great day, yes. We have several exercise programs. It's all very low impact and easy and fun. We recently had one of my seniors turn 95, Edie Wade, and the reason she's so special, I wanted to bring her up, is she is one of my exercise instructors. She teaches my Healthy Steps in Motion class 3 days a week. She's there almost every class teaching, and she just celebrated her 95th birthday, so it sort of gives up the excuse of I'm too old to do that. Our biggest challenge is getting the word out and getting people to come in. And I'm hoping that people will just come in, get a calendar, see what's going on for the month. I'm very passionate about people over 60 being active. I have seen time and time again, people like Edie and that are in their 90s and they're still driving and they're coming into the center. And I ask them a question and they have to get their date book out. The key is, I think the busier you are and the more active you are, the better your quality of life.
My name is Doug Roseberry, and I'm here to talk about Tyrone football. My connection to Tyrone football, I grew up here in Tyrone, spent all my life waiting to play for Tyrone. I played for Tyrone from '98 to 2001. Since then, I'm just a lifelong fan. As a community, it's a big part of our fall. Friday nights, man, Friday night lights. Drive around Tyrone on Friday, all you're gonna see is the lights across town, you know? You'll see it from the highway, and it's a majestic feeling. Every kid that puts on that Tyrone uniform, they have some sort of legacy, whether it's their dad, an uncle, a cousin. You always wanna wear their number. You always wanna kind of play their position.
Extra point is up and good.
It's like they pass the torch on to you. You'll have friends on your team that their dads played together. Their dads are powwowing in the stands, talking about their sons, and like everybody gets into it. It's a fun environment, and you don't always get that in high school sports. It gives kids guidance within this town. If you stay pretty straight to what we're doing at football, we're gonna teach you a lot of other stuff. Hard work, friendship, teamwork, all that stuff, you can't replace that. Around here, you get the best of high school football, tradition, and you know, everything around it. 99 came around, and the mentality just from day one was, you know, we're gonna put this together and we're gonna do it. And just the confidence and the preparation, everything meshed. Good communication, good players, good coaching. Thankfully, it did pan out the way that it did, and we won the state championship. But everything prior to that, we got to give, you know, all the credit to them, because the way that the program blew up from, you know, the early 90s to the late 90s, it's a tribute to the community, the school district, everybody that gave us what we needed to get in that position. It's not just a tribute to the team, it's definitely a community win. And when we came back from the state championship too, it was definitely a community party. Coming back and watching, it means so much to me, because you see those kids out there and you know in the back of their mind what they're thinking. Following that same route to success that someone else has already laid down, they're doing it. And what we've built here and the legacy and, you know, everyone that goes through the program, I just love knowing that they're all tasting the same steps along the way to get to that varsity level. Strap that helmet on Friday night, run out there against Bellwood home game. It'll give chills.
There's more to come as we get out our library cards, feed the ducks at the park, and learn about a story of tragedy and triumph. But now, show your support for Tyrone and WPSU by making a pledge. Thank you. And welcome to Our Town, Tyrone. Hi, I'm Greg Peterson of the WPSU staff. Behind me are Tyronians. They come up from Tyrone to answer the phone. They help put this program together. Now it's your opportunity to call the number on your screen, 1-800-245-9779, and make a pledge to support great programming on this public TV station. You do that by calling, going online. Tell people who have moved away to go to WPSU.org/live. They can tune in right now and watch us and see all their friends from Tyrone. But call 800-245-9779 and make your pledge. To tell you about some of the great thank you gifts we have, here's Lindsay Whistle.
That's right, Greg. We have some great thank you gifts. We also have a lot of phones open, so take this opportunity now, make that call, and for a pledge of $75, we would be happy to send you your very own DVD of Our Town Tyrone. Again, that's a $75 pledge. $120, you get 2 DVDs, so you can take one and share one with your neighbor, or maybe someone else who hasn't had a chance to see it. But when you do make that pledge, you are actually contributing more. You are becoming a co-producer of programs like the Our Town series, like Our Town Tyrone, because these are the kind of programs that are made possible through community support, through viewer support by people like you on your local public television station, WPSU. Again, we have our wonderful group of volunteers in here, and it is awfully quiet in the studio for an Our Town night, so we want to hear your call. There we go. First caller, 1-800-245-9779.
Excellent, excellent. Doesn't that bow tie look sharp? Folks from Tyrone dressed up tonight to have a little bit of a party here in the studio, and that's what we're all about. We are celebrating Our Town Tyrone here on your local public television station, WPSU, and we're having a great time. We're already on the Twitter feed. We're hearing that the class of '84 is enjoying tonight. We have a great story coming up in a little bit on the class of 1962 and a very special thank you they did for Tyrone Area High School, and it's a story that you're really going to enjoy, so I encourage you to stick around for that. But we're all about Our Town Tyrone here tonight on WPSU, and we want to encourage you to call in to support great programming programming that tells the stories of local communities, the wonderful stories of local communities, from the start of Gardner's Candies to Fred Waring and his wonderful music, and just celebrates all the wonderful things about Tyrone that you didn't necessarily know. You know, sometimes when we do these programs, I know a little bit about the community, sometimes I know a lot about the community. Tyrone's a town I've visited many times. You know, I grew up in Lewistown, and I went to school in Altoona, so I used to spend a lot of time driving between the two, and I got to learn a lot about it. But many stories that I didn't know till I saw tonight's program, and I get a little bit of a preview on that. So we encourage you to call in. Give us a call at 1-800-245-9779 to get your copy of Our Town, and it's a great Christmas gift for those of you who are looking for something for the holidays coming up. If you can give it the level of $75, we'll get that in the mail to you. If you can step up your giving to $120, you can get 2 copies, one to keep for yourself and one to give to a friend or a loved one. You know, I know a lot of grandparents take advantage of this, and they'll pass it on to the families, and that's really a lot of what Our Town is about. It's telling great stories that we otherwise wouldn't see on any other station, and preserving those for generations to come. And I think it's a wonderful service of your local public television station, WPSU, and what we're asking you tonight is to take a look at what that means to you and the value you would put on it, and simply give us a call or log on to WPSU.org. It's a safe, secure site. Right, Greg?
That's right. We have 2 phones open, and we're looking for 140 calls tonight. That's a lot of calls. Looking for 140 pledges tonight for Our Town Tyrone to support your public TV station, WPSU. Don't forget, for a $75 pledge, we can send you a copy of this show, Our Town Tyrone, on a DVD, or for $120, we can send you 2 copies. Our way of saying thanks, you can Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover. This is the 80th edition of the Our Town series. We started it in 1996 as a way for us to connect with the communities that we serve throughout central Pennsylvania, as far north as Bradford, as far south as Bedford, and even Somerset. So we have a huge coverage area, but we wanted to connect with the communities. This has been a great way for us to connect with those communities and let them tell the stories about their town. That's what's important. 1-800-245-9779, online at WPSU.org. Once again, call your friends and neighbors who have moved out of the area, can't watch WPSU anymore. Tell them to go online to WPSU.org/live. And now here's Lindsay with some people to thank.
That's right. If you make that pledge, we want to acknowledge your support for public television and the Our Town series on air. So we want to thank our first call in, Scott Hiller from Tyrone. Thank you so much for showing you support Our Town Tyrone. Again, it just takes a few moments to make that call of support, but that single pledge makes such a difference. I mean, this is I love the Our Town series because it totally epitomizes public television. Nowhere else would you find hours dedicated to going into a town and people getting to tell their own stories, take part, take ownership of this program. And all of that is possible through viewer contributions. 1-800-245-9779. We have some great stories coming up. I get excited because I see we have the library story coming up. And I always love library stories in our towns because as a self-proclaimed bookworm, I remember that in my hometown in Buffalo. I love going to the library, and I love that each and every one is different and unique, and you get the chance to see into those places through the Our Town series, through the eyes of people in the town and in the community, and you're always learning something new about whatever Pennsylvania town we're featuring on this series. So again, WPSU.org, you can make that pledge online, or you can call in our great volunteers at 1-800-245-9779. Kevin?
Tyrone, you're keeping us busy tonight. There's one phone open right now, and if you happen to get a busy signal, it takes about 30 seconds for the phones to cycle through, or simply write down the number. We'll be here once we return to the program. You can give us a call then at 1-800-245-9779. We want to thank you personally for keeping our phones busy tonight and supporting great programming like you see here on your local public television station, WPSU. Great programming like Our Town Tyrone. And you know, we always enjoy when people give us a call and they kind of have some little notes that they make along when they give us a call in. Tammy Norris called in from Heston and just wanted to say she always loved all the people that she knows from Tyrone. So we want to thank Tammy for that. And Martha Tarzeski, and Martha, I hope I got that right, Tarzeski of Tyrone called in to say she married a wonderful Tyrone young guy, Bud. So we want to thank Martha for calling in. We want to thank you personally when you give us a call at 1-800-245-9779 to say you support programming like you're seeing here on your local public television station, WPSU. You know, we're very proud of the programming that we do around the Our Town series. It's stories that you simply wouldn't see anywhere else. No other commercial station is gonna dedicate time to telling stories that are wonderful, stories of culture of communities, stories that are about the history, that are about where the community is going. It's just a celebration of a town, and we find that a wonderful way to support our communities that we serve throughout central Pennsylvania, and that's what the Our Town series is all about. It's a way for us to stay in touch with our communities, and it's a way for our to do a wonderful cooperation where we're preserving stories of great things. And I know you support that because you're calling us tonight, and we really appreciate that. And I believe we have more thank yous, so I'm going to toss it on over to Greg for more on that. Yeah.
But before I thank people who made real pledges on real pieces of paper, call right now for a pledge of $75 or more. We can send you a DVD copy of Our Town Tyrone. $120, we can send you 2 copies. It is our way of saying thanks. You keep one, send one away. And if we get on a credit card, Pat, this is true, we're going to make every effort to get these out by the holidays. Right, Pat? Wherever you are. Pat? What? If they make a credit card, we're going to get these out by the holidays, right?
Absolutely. If you want guaranteed delivery before Christmas, you have to use your credit card.
If you want guaranteed delivery before the holidays, before Christmas, you got to use your credit card. So 1-800-245-9779. I love live television. So a couple of thanks here. We have an anonymous person from Tyrone who made a pledge of $120. That's great. They're getting 2 copies. And we have this great pledge from Carrie Simpson. Carrie, I love you. Glad you're doing well. Glad to see you made a pledge. And you thank Cummins McNitt for the nice tribute. Carrie, you've been a friend of the station for years and years. We thank you very much and hope you're doing well. And thank you for calling 1-800-245-9779. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't say imitation is the best form of flattery. We saw another station in the area this summer do an Our Town series, and they featured 5-minute stories on towns throughout central Pennsylvania. 5-minute stories. Wow, we've got about an hour and a half worth of stories here tonight. So thank you for the imitation and the flattery. But your call right now, 1-800-245-9779, is important. Support your public TV station by calling and making your pledge.
And to thank some people who did take the time to call in and make that pledge, we want to take a minute. We have an anonymous pledge from Tyrone. Thank you. We have Beverly and Alan Sutley from Tyrone, Tim Hauser from Evansburg. Tim and Marianne Hauser from Evansburg, Pat and Duke Wilson from Tyrone, and Denise Cradle from Tyrone. Thank you so much for making that call. It got a little quiet in here. I think we probably have some lines open. Again, just remember, I'm standing here with this awesome DVD that we would be thrilled to send you if you make that call. Support $75 gets you your very own copy of Our Town Tyrone. $120 gets you 2 copies. So as we mentioned, holidays are coming up. What a great thing to give someone to say, not only you get this wonderful, entertaining DVD, but you also get to know that that DVD helps support the very program you're watching, Our Town Tyrone, the whole Our Town series, and all of the programs that you find here on public television through viewer support, through people like you who took a few minutes to make that phone call. 1-800-245-9779. Kevin?
Our Town Tyrone, I understand the population of Tyrone's about 5,500 people. So we would love to read all of those names on the air tonight if you can give us a call, because, there's a big party in Tyrone tonight. Everyone's watching the show. Everyone's kind of celebrating, and that's what everyone's going to be talking about in Tyrone tomorrow. So you want to be part of that party, and we want to make sure your name gets read. It's amazing sometimes when people request the DVD copy, they want to know if they can have the pledge breaks because they hear their names, and there's a lot of fun around that. So we're encouraging you to call in. There's one now, 1-800-245-9779. And, as I mentioned, when we do those thank yous, we love if some people call in memory of a loved one. Some people are honoring someone. Some people want to tell us nicknames. When we did Our Town Mount Union, we heard a lot about the nicknames there. So if there's whatever makes Tyrone special, that's what we want to celebrate tonight here on your local public television station, WPSU. So give us a call. Any amount lets us know that you care about programming, great programming that tells stories of local communities here in central Pennsylvania on your local public television station, WPSU. But if you can step up your giving to $75, we'll be glad to send along the Our Town DVD. If you put your pledge on credit card, we'll make sure you get that before the holidays here. If you can step up the giving to $120, you can keep one for yourself or perhaps give to 2 loved ones. These are great gifts for the family, certainly great gifts for grandchildren that you're passing on. The wonderful stories stories that talk about the Tyrone community. The start of Gardner's Candies, Fred Waring and his wonderful music. I mean, what more wonderful celebrations can you hear from our town Tyrone? Well, there's a lot more ahead, and we're going to hear about that throughout the evening. So give us a call at 1-800-245-9779 or log on to WPSU.org. It's a safe, secure site that you can feel good about. Thank you. And we would love to hear from people. I know some of you are watching us tonight on WPSU.org/live that are away. We love to hear from other folks, sometimes from California or Florida, so let's hear from you. Greg.
Well, this is not California, or what the state you said?
Florida.
Florida. This is not California, Florida. We did get a call from North Towanda, New York. Howard Markle, who moved away from Tyrone 60 years ago. Thanks, Howard, for calling in your pledge. We had a nice pledge for McNett Cummins, who did that great piece on Kerry Simpson. We appreciate that, Cummins, for participating and pledging. Marcia and Fred Fink of Tyrone called in a pledge. And also Peggy Joy Sullivan from Woodbridge, Virginia, called in a pledge. She must be watching online. Thank you very much. Don't forget, for a $75 pledge, send you a copy of the show, Our Town Tyrone. $120, we can send you 2 copies. Put on a credit card, and we guarantee we'll get it to you before the holidays so you can gift it to somebody. That'd be a great way to say thank you for your support of public television, and you can give a gift away to somebody else. 1-800-245-9779. We're going back. I think we still have to have the train wreck's going to come, the circus train wreck. That's a story in its own. If you haven't heard it, it's a great story. We've got a lot of great stories coming up, so don't go away. Lindsay?
I'm not positive, but I think I heard Greg say North Tonawanda, New York, because that is right near my neck of the woods from Buffalo, and that is what I love about public television, especially the Our Town series, is you get all these people who moved away, and you're all brought back to connect on public television through programs like Our Town. We want to say thank you to a few more people who called in. Special thank you to Charlie and Joy Wolford from Tyrone, Linda Daniels, also from Tyrone. Oh, we've got so many. We've got some coming in online, some on the phone. Phil Hoy from Tyrone, and also Curtis and Tara Miller from Tyrone. Loving the community support right now. Again, when you're walking around town tomorrow, you want to be able to hold your head high and say you made your pledge to Our Town Tyrone, to public television. 1-800-245-9779. Again, the holiday season's coming up. I would actually encourage you to think of this as a great opportunity. I know every year my grandmother is the most devout public television watcher on earth, and instead of giving her a gift, I give her a card that says, I made a donation in your name to your public television station, and that is the best thing I could do for her, because that lets her keep enjoying those programs that she loves so much and holds so dear. So think of that as you're thinking of your holiday shopping list. 1-800-245-9779. And again, in addition to just making that pledge, you can also make that $75 pledge. Get the Our Town DVD, Our Town Tyrone, for $75 or $120. We'd love to thank you with 2 Our Town Tyrone DVDs. The important thing is that you make that call now. Kevin?
I don't know.
Absolutely, Lindsay. Absolutely. Yeah, hey, we're having such a great time here in the studio tonight, enjoying Our Town Tyrone. I was off kind of learning a few name pronunciations here. So we want to thank Ron Idarella, I hope I got that right, Ron, of Bellefonte, calling in. And Ron was calling in to say thank you for all the people that taught me the good work ethic in Tyrone. And that's one of the things that I think really comes across in this Our Town series, is the wonderful values of the people from across central Pennsylvania. You know, we hear about in the circus story that Greg's talking about the wonderful openness of the Tyrone community, how it became a second home and family, and and one of the really cool things coming up in that story is how the community kind of came around this circus folk and really treated them like one of their own, and they were very much enamored by that. And it's a very expressive way that folks in Tyrone just continue to feel today. And you know, as your local public television station, we felt that love from you too when we were visiting Tyrone. If you're not familiar with how this process works, some of my colleagues, Whitney and Carly, go in and they spend some time in the community and they teach the townspeople to kind of tell their own stories. And the townspeople are their own producers. And that's how we get these great, wonderful stories that you're watching tonight. And if you want to support that type of programming, stories that tell stories like Gardner's Candy and the Circus story and the beginning of the Fred Waring music, your money, your pledge of support creates the nest egg for the next Our Town series so that another community can hear more about it. And we encourage you to give us a call, and we want to thank you on the air tonight at 1-800-245-9779 or log on to WPSU.org.
Thank you to Herc and Meryl Louise Ammerman of Tyrone for calling in a pledge. Thank you very much. Also, we heard from Jackie Giannico She's from State College, but she wanted to thank the Tyrone community players for welcoming her into their group. So thank you very much. We thank you for making a pledge. Coming up, we're going to look at the 900 block of Pennsylvania Avenue, the Walter L. Main Circus train wreck, the Daily Herald, the library, the Tyrone Area School District, Girl Scouts, Reservoir Park. A lot of things coming up. Call right now with your pledge at 800-245-9779. Now, I put down a marker of 140 pledges tonight. And Christy, do you know how many pledges we have? We have 31 pledges. All right, so Pledge Math says we have 101 to go. 110? 101 to go. She had 39? I don't know. We need a lot of pledges at 800-245-9779. We got a lot more programming to come. The people answering the phones are from Tyrone. They came up tonight. We thank them very much. Not only are they answering the phones, they help create the content of all the shows. They went out with their video cameras. They told the stories. We certainly appreciate their effort, but we want to appreciate your effort right now. Call 800-245-9779 and make your pledge. Right now, back to Our Town Tyrone.
You can also make your pledge at WPSU.org. Click on Contribute at the top of the page. It's always available and easy to use. Thanks.
My name is Philip Pellegrini. I'm going to talk about the 900 block of Pennsylvania Avenue. I really like the architecture on the 900 block because it has a good mix of late 1800s buildings that represent the community. There's a hardware store and a bank, just really kind of central businesses. And unlike some of the other parts of town, it never really had a major fire or flood, so they're just kind of a cornerstone of the downtown. A lot of the businesses have been there a long time and are well established. The east side of the 900 block really goes from the DeFeary building up to the train station, and a lot of the buildings in the lower part of it are from the 1870s and 1880s. There was actually a hotel in the one building initially, so they're just a really interesting group of buildings. They're not quite as architecturally exciting as the other side of the street, but they're still a really nice mix of buildings. The west side of the 900 block of Pennsylvania Avenue has three, I think, really nice buildings on it. On the corner of 10th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue is the bank building, and it started as the Blair County National Bank, and then during the Great Depression merged with the First National Bank of Tyrone, is now M&T's branch in Tyrone. Beside that is Fink Hardware, which is in the IOF building in the Pruner block. The Pruner block actually initially had E.J. Pruner's mercantile business in and had a dance hall on the third floor where there were a lot of social events in town. The Ward House is located at the top of Pennsylvania Avenue. It was built by Mary Ward and opened in 1862, and it actually operated during the Civil War, and a lot of military people on their way to and from the battles and such would stay there. I didn't live here for the first about 10 years of my life, so I just felt the need to learn more about the community. In the process of looking into things and trying to find out what buildings had been places and what businesses had been in those buildings, I just really grew to appreciate a lot of what had been here and what is still here. And now that I've learned a lot more about the downtown and about the history of the town, I do find myself a lot more connected to it, and I really appreciate the town that it is.
I'm Susie O'Brien, and I'm here to talk about the Walter L. Main Circus train wreck of 1893. It is part of our Northern Blair County, Tyrone area history, and personally my family history. It was on my great-great-grandfather's farm. This wreck occurred on May 30th, 1893, at a location known as McCann's Crossing. It's about 4 miles north of Tyrone. They had 5 people that lost their lives. It was the world's largest circus train wreck at that time. It's a tragedy that should not have ever happened, but the PRR did not charge you per weight or length of your car. These cars were brand new for this year, and they were 70 to 80 feet long instead of the standard 40 to 50 feet long cars. It's 2,400 feet high at the Sandy Ridge summit. Walter was concerned because he went down this branch line before and was quite a wild ride with his other circus. And Stephen Red Cresswell, the engineer, was also worried because he knew that these air brakes and the 3 handbrakemen he had would not be ample braking power. The young superintendent said, "Bring the train down or I'll send somebody who will." 8 mile from Tyrone, about 4 mile from McCann's Crossing, he had no longer any brakes. When they hit McCann's Crossing, that first stock car closest to the engine, next to the tender, tore away and carried with it down the 20-foot embankment 13 of the 17 cars. The last 4 cars on this train were a combination car and 3 sleepers. The combination car was swung sideways by centrifugal force, and it cushioned the 3 sleepers. That's why there wasn't a greater loss of life. They had an inquest following this wreck. They ordered the PRR to pay Walter the value of his circus. But Walter knew that the railroad had been working around the clock double shifts to get him back on his feet. He stayed here in Tyrone until June 6th. These circus people stayed in Tyrone. They stayed in the local hotels. And some of them had watches broken, some of them had jewelry missing. When they went to the jewelers to get a replacement or to get it fixed, it was taken care of and they weren't allowed to pay for it. The same way when they checked out of the hotels. No one would allow them to pay for it or someone already paid for it. So Walter said he couldn't get over the openness of the people here in Tyrone. And they've always considered Walter Elmain and his circus part of their family. Every May, a circus would stop. Walter Elmain or another circus would stop here in Tyrone and do a memorial with a wreath laying. There's a monument at the wreck site that was built in 1974. This monument is where we have our memorial service. I've had a memorial service there every year since year 2000. I most recently, in 2009, had 2 elephants from the Jaffa Shrine Circus to place a wreath at the wreck site. When you have a wreath laying by an elephant at your headstone, that's one of the greatest honors a circus performer could have. This is a story of an extended family from Tyrone. Walter always considered central Pennsylvania his second home.
My name is Adina Harpst. I'm the editor at the Daily Herald, based in Tyrone. The Daily Herald is one of about 12 surviving newspapers that were published in Tyrone since 1856. It is the oldest continuous business in Tyrone, and it is the smallest daily newspaper in Pennsylvania, and also in the top 25 oldest newspapers in Pennsylvania. It started as the Tyrone Star, and the name changed to the Tyrone Herald, the Tyrone Daily Herald, now known as the Daily Herald. We haven't missed more than 5 publications since 1867, and that is through flooding and fires and other devastating happenings. We serve Tyrone, Bellwood, and all of the surrounding communities in northern Blair County. We cover everything from schools, sports, churches, local organizations, anything that's community-based. We do a lot of feature stories about the people from here and history, anything you can think of. The Daily Herald is distributed by our carriers every day to subscribers. We also offer it in the office. We have a lot of people stop in, a lot of regulars come into the office every day. Originally, all the work was done in-house, in the same house as the office. The printing press was there. Everything was cut and pasted by hand. Now we do everything by computer. It is sent from our computers to the press in Huntington. As the editor, I do a lot of writing. I also look over a lot of the things that go into the paper, try to browse the pages before they go to print. I actually job shadowed at the Daily Herald when I was a high school freshman in 2001, and I always wanted to pursue that. just covering something different every day intrigued me. Whether it's the fire company or going to the school, covering local government, having to dig into these stories and talk to people in the community that I wouldn't otherwise talk to has taught me a lot about so many things. I enjoy Tyrone. It's a tight-knit community. You kind of know everybody or somebody who knows somebody else. So if you need something, somebody's always there. Just being part of the small town and knowing the people, it's home.
I'm Jessica Ford Cameron. I'm the director of the Tyrone-Snyder Public Library, and today I'd like to talk about the library's history and role in the community. The library goes back to 1965. There was a book discussion group in town. This book discussion group decided that Tyrone could really use a library, and that's how it began. It's moved around a lot. It opened in 1965 on 10th Street. It was at 1055 Logan Avenue. In 1979, it moved to 1015 Logan Avenue, which was the Elks building, which is now where the community players reside. They took a leap of faith and they decided to build a new facility on Pennsylvania Avenue. It was built on the foundation of another older building in town. It's made such a difference. It's very bright, it's very open, it's very welcoming, and it's such a good space for the community. We have a really fantastic children's area. We have this great open play space in the children's room. We've got a train table, we've got toys and puppets and stuffed animals and blocks. The former library director, my predecessor, Lynn Neerhoof, I really have to give her credit for working so hard to sort of recast the library as less a warehouse of books and more a place for families to come with their children and, play and get children's books and just have fun. I can't say enough about our Friends of the Library group. They do so much for the library. They're the ones that organize our annual fundraiser concert that pays the mortgage on the building. And they've also helped us out with a lot of upgrading equipment in the library that we wouldn't have been able to afford otherwise. They'll volunteer at the checkout desk and do other tasks in the library. We have a very small staff, so our volunteers are very precious to us. There's this concept in public libraries of sort of the third space. You have your home, you have your work, and there needs to be a third place where you can just go and socialize with other people, and that's really the role the library fills in the Tyrone-Snyder community. One of our regular families at the library, the mother had recently given birth, and the child was literally days old, and they brought it to the library, and that just made me feel so honored. That they considered the library such an important place to their family that they would bring this newborn infant in. Teddy bear, show your... I'm not from the area originally. I sort of grew up all around Blair County, but since I started here in 2008, I felt so welcomed by the people of Tyrone. They really see me as family, library family.
My name's Kathy Harlow, and I am the superintendent of the Tyrone Area School District, and I'm here to talk about the school district. We're a school district of about 1,900 students, pre-K to 12. We have an elementary school, a middle school, and a high school, located on one campus right outside of Tyrone proper. We have done very well, have a lot of great opportunities for our kids, great hub for the community. A lot of events occur at the school. One of the things that we have been recognized both statewide and nationally for is our preschool program. We have a birth through age 5 preschool. We educate about 80% of our 3- and 4-year-olds in the school district. And it's not just a daycare babysitting service, it's very academic based. We have a strong curriculum in place that the kids come to kindergarten very much ready to learn. Our students excel in all areas, athletics, academics, and the arts. Our students achieve in the higher percentiles on all of the state assessments every year. We've been recognized by U.S. News and World Report for our accomplishments. And one of the reasons they do recognize us is because we have about a 48% poverty ratio in our district. And so we are beating the odds with our economically disadvantaged students as far as their performance academically. We do offer a lot of variety of programs for our high school students. We have our own vocational programs in-house, ranging from health tech to vocational agricultural programs, business programs, metalworking. Our carpentry students actually build a house. We do offer a lot of different paths for our students. We also offer dual enrollment programs where students can actually take college credit courses while they're still attending high school. We offer so many opportunities for our kids today. It's very rewarding to me to see that I'm playing a little wee part in that development of those children and helping them make those life decisions of what they want to do and be. From a small rural school district, I think we're doing well. Have a lot to be proud of in this community.
I'm Michelle Bridges, Membership Manager for Blair County for Girl Scouts Western Pennsylvania, and I'm here to talk about Girl Scouts in Tyrone. We usually generally have about 100 girls in Tyrone, about 8 troops. We have daisies, brownies, juniors, cadets, on up into ambassadors. Girls are having a great time this year. They just couldn't wait to get back. They're traipsing through Reservoir Park, identifying flowers. They did a wildflower project. Even the brownies in our troop are having a great time. This is the first time our brownies are actually in this troop, so they're having a great time working with the older girls. It's really inspiring to see our girls take younger girls under their wing. Girl Scouting is really about fostering independence, making sure that they spread their wings. So we want to make sure that they have the best experience that they can in Girl Scouting. It does leave a lasting impression. All of our meetings are the same. They all start with an opening ceremony. The girls do a business meeting. If it's a parade coming up, if it's cookie time coming up, they sit down and they actually talk about it. Every meeting across Blair County is the same. It all closes with a closing ceremony. They do a friendship circle. We're all about tradition. It is Girl Scouts, so it is all about tradition. So girls really enjoy doing that friendship circle. The first thing I always think about whenever you think about Girl Scouts are Thin Mints and cookies. That cookie actually pays for the programming that the girls do. The cookie program is a financial literacy program. It's public speaking. It's being able to actually talk to an adult. In 1 year, the girls have gone to Washington, D.C., New York City, Carnegie Science overnights, Pittsburgh Zoo overnights. The girls really come up with the most ingenious ways to spend their cookie money. It's a beautiful community. Our kids can play on a cul-de-sac and with their bikes, and I never have to worry about it. We know our neighbors. We have an annual block party. It's now in the 8th year that we have a summer party with all of our neighbors where we park a car, block off the entire street, and everybody goes outside. We even have a live band. This is the kind of community that we live in. Everybody knows everybody else. Everybody watches out for everybody else, and it's a great place to raise a family.
Hello, my name's Elaine Conrad, and today I'll be sharing about Reservoir Park in Tyrone, a little of its history and its current use today. If you travel up 453 from the downtown area and up 15th Street, you'll run almost right into it. It's been a park that people have enjoyed for generations. A.A. Stevens, a lawyer in Tyrone, donated the land to the borough, and it's 33 acres. A pure, pristine mountain stream runs down through the park. It enters into a pond at the other end of the park that's beautiful in the different lights and the ducks on the pond, and people use that pond for fishing. There's a road that goes through the park that's 1.25 miles, so it's great for walkers, great for runners, and there are a lot of natural wooded trails with native trees. It's just beautiful. And in all seasons, it's beautiful. There's a big pavilion, Pavilion 1. Many functions happen at that pavilion. One that happens there is the Labor Day picnic that draws many people from the town there. Another thing that happens is the Easter egg hunt in the spring. Also near that pavilion is the big, large main playground, and right beyond that's the pond. There are 17 pavilions in all, and people actually line up in January to rent a pavilion, to get their favorite pavilion, before they are all reserved and taken for the summer. People use these pavilions for family reunions, for birthday parties, for picnics, for church outings, for showers, and even for some weddings. On any given day, you will see dog walkers. Young and old walk in the park. Kids on bikes go through the park, kids on roller skates, and there are runners go through the park, and there are many races as well. Very well used by Tyroners and by people from out of town as well. A.A. Stevens had a summer home at the park, that when he donated the land to the borough, he kept that summer home. And it's a log home, 100 years old. My family and I have been fortunate enough to live there for the past 26 years. It's just truly a special place for all the people of Tyrone that's been used for generations. Probably any Tyroner that you would run into would say, "Oh, Reservoir Park, what a gem for our town."
Learn more about Tyrone as we explore the Little Juniata River. Head to camp with the Boy Scouts and get in touch with Golden Eagle Pride. But first, it's time to show your support for Tyrone and WPSU by making your pledge. Thanks.
And we hope you are enjoying Our Town Tyrone, the premiere of Our Town Tyrone here on your local public television station, WPSU. We have some great folks from Tyrone here tonight who are answering the phone. Some of them you'll recognize from the stories, so please enjoy that throughout the evening. We're encouraging you to say, hey, I love this program I'm watching tonight here on my local public television station, and give us a call. Make these phones ring at 1-800-245-9779. We understand the population of Tyrone is around 5,500, and our challenge tonight is to try to get 140 of you to call in, but we'd love to read the names of everyone from Tyrone here tonight. My colleague and fellow producer, and the producer of tonight's program, Our Town Tyrone, is Carly Griner. Carly.
That's right, Kevin. We're joined here with the Our Town Tyrone storytellers and residents within the community. And tonight, we are asking for you to make a contribution to public television by making a pledge of $75. We'll bring you an Our Town DVD. These DVDs include 3 bonus features. One bonus feature will tell you about Sue O'Brien's harrowing experience after the Walter Main Circus train wreck, as well as a second
second story. And Carly's Carly's so overwhelmed with all the great content we have there, so we want to hear from you. 1-800-245-9779. Again, we want to thank you for making that pledge on air. I'm gonna re-thank. I just found out my landlord actually called in, Ron Idarola. And I just want to say thanks, Ron, and that's a great way of showing how public television all brings us together and points out all these great connections that we have with each other, all coming together through quality community programming like Our Town Tyrone. We also want to say thank you to Sue Gavazzi from Warriors Mark, Martha Fernandez from Tyrone, and I'm sorry if I say this wrong, the Polchinoco family, also from Tyrone. So thank you for those pledges. Again, we have our volunteers in here. We have some lines open. We want to hear that pledge. 1-800-245-9779. Again, $75 pledge. You get your very own copy of the Our Town DVD, Our Town Tyrone DVD. $120. You get 2 copies. And actually, so we just heard the story about the library not so long ago. And one of our former producers here, Jessica Peters, used to have a wonderful idea about somebody can make that $120 pledge, get 2 DVDs, and donate a copy to the Tyrone Library so the rest of the community can enjoy it. So for many generations to come, it is there and people can share in the experience of Our Town Tyrone, brought to you through contributions to public television from community members like you.
You know what I love about the Our Town series? This is actually one of my favorite programs we do here on PBS, and it's one of my favorite services that we provide for local viewers, is because it saves these wonderful stories that are so unique to each town. You know, my grandfather was a coal miner in the Clearfield area, and one of the recent Our Towns we did took us inside of a coal mine and taught us about that. It's the types of stories that you wouldn't see anywhere else. And I get very excited when I see those stories on here. Stories like Gardner's Candies and how the heart-shaped boxes got their starts. Stories like the Waterman Circus and how that train accident shouldn't have happened, but it was kind of an overeager superintendent, and the wonderful imagery of the elephants presenting the wreath onto the memorial there. So it's just wonderful stories, great storytelling by the people of these communities that we hear from you, and by our producers coming into your town. It's a great partnership, and they spend time and they help the townspeople tell their own stories. I mean, where else would you find something like this? And if you value that, I'm encouraging you to give us a call at 1-800-245-9779. We want to thank each and every one of you who supports your local public television station. Your pledge of support makes it possible for the next Our Town series. So the next Our Town series next year, 6 of these will be possible because you gave us a call tonight at 1-800-245-9779. My colleague Carly's following what's happening on Twitter as you're chatting tonight, so I'm going to give her a shout out right now. Right, Carly?
That's right, Kevin. You can follow along and chat with me using the hashtag OTTyrone, but I have a few people that I want to thank tonight. The phones are full, so if it's busy when you ring, just keep calling in. We'd love to hear from you. I want to thank Paul Barton from Tyrone, as well as Susie K. O'Brien and Hayden and Adam Zook from the Tyrone area. We have a pledge from Winter Haven, Florida, from Ellen Wallace. She wants to especially thank Elaine Conrad, Susie O'Brien, and Maureen Drain. This is just a reminder, as well as if you know friends and family from out of town, encourage them to watch online at WPSU.org/live. For a $75 value, that'll get you 1 copy of the Our Town DVD, and for a $120 contribution, you'll get 2 DVDs. I'm going to toss it to Lindsay right now.
All right, thanks, Carly. Again, we want to hear from you, 1-800-245-9779. If you call, you can, and the line's busy, call back. It really only takes a few minutes for them to take that information. You can also go online and make that pledge, WPSU.org. We want to say thank you to some pledges that have come in. Thank you to Dance Fusion and Tyrone for your pledge of support, to Amy and Larry Brisbane from Tyrone, from Connie Miller from Altoona, Jim Kaspick from Tyrone, and they just keep coming in, Craig Cameron and Paula Ford from Altoona, and an anonymous pledge from Tyrone. Thank you so much for your pledges of support. Again, by making that pledge, you are actually becoming co-producers of the Our Town series. You are taking part in making sure that this series continues and paying it forward so that the next Our Town. Again, we go all throughout Pennsylvania. We look for towns that we know are going to have great community involvement, that are going to have these wonderful stories to tell and really express their sense of town community spirit. And it all comes back to the quality kinds of programs on public television. Never else would you send a camera crew into a community and say, you guys are the storytellers. You know your town better than we do. You could tell these stories so much better than anybody else coming in from outside. We want to hear those voices from the town itself. 1-800-245-9779. Make that pledge, become a co-producer and a stakeholder in the Our Town series on public television.
Hey, so the class of 1962 has a really great story coming up about this special gift that they came up to honor their 50th class reunion. So you want to stick around for that. That's coming up a little later in the program. But I love how these the high schools kind of the different classes end up challenging each other to different gifts. So I'd like to get some of that going tonight. We challenge you. We want to hear from the different classes of Tyrone area high school, maybe some of your favorite memories. So give us a call at 1-800-245-9779 and talk about some of those great memories that you've heard from Tyrone. And we want to thank Deanne Mengel, Deanne and Chet Mengel of Tyrone, who called in to support their local public television station, WPSU. We also want to thank Shelley Hanser of Tyrone. Shelley, thank you for your calling in your pledge of support. And we want to thank Lori Eckert of Tyrone, Pennsylvania. Lori, thank you for calling in your pledge of support, calling to support great public television station, great local programming like you're seeing here on your local public television station, WPSU. My colleagues Carly and Whitney go into the town and they help the townspeople tell their great stories. And so Carly is one of my colleagues here, and we're really enjoying hearing from her tonight. And so I think she's going to tell us a little bit about what that experience is like when she visits the town, right, Carly?
That's right, Kevin. It was a great experience going into Tyrone and working with these community members. You know, when we go into a town like Tyrone, and a small town here in central Pennsylvania, you really see what the heart of the town is about and what these folks love and what they do to make this town, you know, a great place and a great hometown to call home. I've been following along on Twitter with a lot of you, and Bill Latchford tweeted at me saying that he's enjoying a great show on WPSU, Our Town Tyrone, and thanks to all that made this production possible, # Our Town Tyrone. Thank you, Bill, for following along with me, and keep tweeting at us. I'd like to thank a few more people. Port Maryland, Pennsylvania, we had a call from Fran Phoenix, and she wanted to thank Peg Fontana and Fran Saylor Phoenix, as well as Lynn and Darlene Cup from Tyrone, Pennsylvania. Thank you for your call and your donation of support. Diane Decker from Tyrone, thank you. And I want to make sure that I thank Diane and Sheldon Decken. Thank you so much. We want to hear from you. Please call in with your pledge of support, 1-800-245-9779. Lindsay?
Thanks, Carly. We do have 5 lines open, so now is a great time to make that call. We have these wonderful community volunteers coming in to talk to you, 1-800-245-9779. If you've never made a pledge of support to public television before, couldn't be easier. They just take a little bit basic information from you, can make that pledge, and they will send you one of our great thank you gifts, which we'll talk about in just one moment. But first, we want to say thank you to our anonymous pledge that came in from Tyrone. Thank you so much. Also to Judy Adams from Tyrone and Sarah Carpenter from Tyrone. Thank you so much. Again, that $75 pledge gets you your own copy of Our Town Tyrone. $120 gets you 2 DVDs. But again, any pledge in any amount goes towards supporting programs like the Our Town series on WPSU. It's all community-based. We only ask for what we need to bring these programs to you. I'm holding this wonderful copy of Our Town Tyrone DVD in my hand. It's reading the back and I love it. This starts with volunteer storytellers from Tyrone came together. I love that because that's the whole point of the series. Volunteers, people coming together to make these great programs possible. It's all a labor of love. People who want to be involved and share these wonderful stories and talk about the wonderful things that make their town so unique. Because each and every one of these series, we learn every town is unique. Every town has these great things that make it special. And we only learn that through viewer involvement and viewer support. So don't wait. Call now, 1-800-245-9779.
All phones are full right now. That's awesome. We're loving hearing from the folks of Tyrone and the areas that they've moved to and moved on to throughout the years. So we're hearing from a lot of folks tonight. If you wait about 30 seconds, the phones will free up, or simply take down the number. We'll continue to be here as we return to the program, and you can give us a call then. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. You can also log on to WPSU.org. It's a safe, secure site. And if you have friends and loved ones that have moved away from the area and you want to tell them to log on to WPSU.org/live, we would love to hear from some of them tonight. Sometimes we hear from Florida, California, and even different countries from across the globe. So we would love to hear from some folks tonight from across the globe. We want to thank Chris Dutrow, the Dutrow family of Altoona, Pennsylvania, calling in to support Our Town Tyrone. We want to thank Jill Fitzgerald, Pastor Charles and Jill Fitzgerald of Tyrone, Pennsylvania, calling in. We also want to thank Eileen Coe Mitchell. Eileen Coe Mitchell calling in from Tyrone, Pennsylvania. Thank you, Eileen, for calling in. And we want to thank Sydney Garber, Sid and Dora Garber of Tyrone, calling in. I think some of those names are recognized here in the community tonight. We're getting a lot of applause for that. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. And I believe Carly has more thank you, so I'm just going to toss it right on over to her. Carly.
Thanks, Kevin. We've had a lot of calls come in today from classes from Tyrone Area School District, past and present. I'd like to thank John Fryer and Anna Lynn Fryer and family, on behalf of Mrs. Conrad's first period social studies class, thank you, and thank you for calling in and making your pledge from Port Matilda, Pennsylvania this evening. I would also like to thank Martha Johnson from Spokane, Washington. That's the furthest long distance call that we've got this evening, so that's very exciting. Encourage your friends and family from out of the area to tune in with us on WPSU.org/live and watch our live stream. We want to hear from you, 1-800-245-9779. That'll get you one copy for a $75 contribution of the Our Town DVD, and for a contribution of $120, you'll get 2 copies of the Our Town DVDs. These will make great gifts for the holiday seasons. Lindsay?
Thanks, Carly. And we have some more people we want to say thank you to. We had an anonymous pledge that came in from Tyrone. Thank you for that pledge of support. Carol Bishop from Tyrone. Also, Edward Thomas from Ormond Beach, Florida. And he says he's a former resident who graduated in 1950, and he wants to say thank you to Susan Friday for telling him that Our Town Tyrone was on. So if you're watching on TV or online at WPSU.org/live, we want to hear from you. We actually love hearing when we get things like this from Florida, from Washington. We want to see how many states we can hit, how many people have involvement in Tyrone, either we're from there, have friends or family there, and who support programs like Our Town on public television. 1-800-245-9779. That is the number to call. WPSU.org. You can also make that pledge online. Again, any pledge for any amount is appreciated and goes directly into funding programs like the Our Town series. But for $75 support, we give you your very own copy of Our Town Tyrone to have and to hold on DVD. $120, you get 2 copies. You get to keep one, share one. The holidays are coming up. Makes a great gift. 1-800-245-9779. We have a few moments before we get back to more wonderful stories. Just enough time to get that phone call in. Again, just takes a short while to make that pledge. Go ahead, we want to hear from you.
So a little earlier in the night, Greg issued a challenge to the folks of Tyrone and those who love Our Town Tyrone. We're hoping to have 140 calls tonight. Tyrone population 5,500, so we think we can do it. We're nearing the halfway point. We're very close to the halfway point. I think 1 or 2 more calls back here will get us to the halfway point. So we encourage you to call us and get us over that halfway point at 1-800-245-9779. We have a great story coming up on the events that happen in Tyrone in this next section, and one of those events is the Tyrone Irish Heritage Festival and celebration of the Tyrone Irish Heritage. I myself, you may have guessed from the red hair, I have a little bit of Scots Irish heritage, like so many central Pennsylvanians, and that's one of the things I really enjoy about this series is we get to hear the wonderful stories and celebrate the wonderful cultures and the wonderful people who make up central Pennsylvania. And if you too support that, I'm asking you to put a dollar value on that tonight, to think about what that's worth to you, and give us a call at 1-800-245-9779. You know, you simply won't see that anywhere else. And if that's valuable to you, I know it is to me, give us a call at 1-800-245-9779. Carly.
Thanks, Kevin. I have some more tweets that I want to read to you. Folks are tweeting in, joining the conversations here with me and my colleagues here in the WPSU studio. Jake Fetter tweeted at us, WPSU, I'm loving the show and the stories, hashtag Our Town Tyrone. Thank you, Jake, for following along and tuning in. As well as Jim Kilmartin said, WPSU, great job with the video tonight. Well, the video was shot by the volunteers behind me. Those are the storytellers and videographers willing to share their stories about the Tyrone community with you. That's one of my favorite parts about working on this series and the Our Town Tyrone project, is that we get to go into these smaller communities and work so closely with the community, getting to tell their stories through their eyes and helping them really share and get their stories out so you can hear them. I want to thank Margie Moore from Tyrone, Pennsylvania. Thank you, Margie. We want to hear from you. 1-800-245-9779. Again, that number is 1-800-245-9779. Lindsay?
Thanks, Carly. We have some more thanks to give. Tim and Kristen Lair, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I think it's Lair. They want to say thanks to Susie O'Brien, our aunt, for her story on the circus wreck. So thank you for that story, for all these great stories on WPSU, Our Town Tyrone. Also, Mike and Lori Cave from Tyrone. Carla Mae Baumgartner from Tyrone. Tom Burns from Hope Mills, North Carolina, he's throwing out a challenge to the class of 1975. And again, so we hit North Carolina, we've already gotten Florida, we've gotten Washington. I want to throw out some states that we never hear from, or I haven't heard from before on our pledge nights. Maybe we can get something like Alaska or Montana, Nevada. All of these people who were from Tyrone or have some connection to it, we want to hear your pledge. So if you're watching on TV or online, 1-800-245-9779. We do have a couple more. We have some phones open. It sounds a little quiet, so it's a great time to make that call. We want to thank Lynette Ray from Scottsdale. Thank you so very much for your pledge. To Our Town Tyrone and Kathy Nairhood from Tyrone. Thank you all so much for your pledge of support. Again, we have so much more coming up on this wonderful program, all made possible through viewer support. 1-800-245-9779. Make that contribution in any amount. As Kevin said, this is great programming that you only find through public television. We're asking you to think about what value you would give to that. For that $75 value, you get your very own copy of Our Town Tyrone on DVD. $120, you get 2 DVDs. Keep one, share one, and spread the magic of Our Town Tyrone. Again, Kevin and I were talking about, we absolutely love coming in on pledge nights for the Our Town series because there is such wonderful energy in the studio, wonderful community support. All of these people who gave up their time to come in here, support their town, support Our Town Tyrone. We want to hear your support too.
That's right. This is what public television is all about tonight, and we are celebrating Our Town Tyrone. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. And I have some thank yous. You know, we've been talking about the classes all night. Ron and Lori Miller, class of 78 and class of 80, representing from Riverview, Florida, so we get a twofer there. We want to thank also Norman Huff of Tyrone and Anna Mae Huff, his wife, calling in. And we want to thank Angela Diebold for Kevin and Angela Diebold of Tyrone calling in. Many more thank yous coming up. We have many more great stories coming up. Give us a call at 1-800-245-9779 and sit back and enjoy a story on the Little Juniata.
You can also make your pledge at WPSU.org. Click on Contribute at the top of the page. It's always available and easy to use. Thanks.
I'm Paige Umholtz, and I'm going to talk about different school activities that students can do at Tyrone High School. The first bell rings at 8 o'clock, and you go to your homeroom class where we do the announcements. And Channel T is the announcements show that we do. We have anchors, I guess you could say. They sit down and there's a backdrop behind them. Students run the video and they read announcements that teachers send in or something that the kids should know. And they do the pledge, and then once that's over, then you start whatever your first class would be. There's different things that students can do other than like a normal class. Pops Extension is one of the classes that's available. It's our show choir at the school. We have different languages offered at the school, Spanish and French. We have health tech, which you could be involved in. Metal shop and wood shop that you can be involved in. Those are down in our vocational wing. Or some students choose to go to the Greater Altoona Career and Technology Center, where they can do automotive, air conditioner technicians, dental technicians, different things like that. We have a group at the school called YAN, Youth Action Network. One of the things that they're very much involved in is Pennies for Pansy. Pansy Hospital in the Congo. It's a women's hospital for women and children. The Tyrone High School and YAN were the first people to ever send money to Pansy Hospital and help out. You can be involved in Renaissance Club, who's in charge of our school spirit weeks and doing different things in the school. We have awesome teachers that really try to help the students, and we have a teacher who does after-school tutoring for kids who are having problems in classes, and they're always easy to go and talk to if you have any questions. I just think Tyrone's a great place to be, and the Golden Eagle pride. Everybody on Fridays wears their orange and black walking around the halls. There's just something about Tyrone and the teachers and the students and a camaraderie, I guess you could say, that we all have, that you just love being there. It's a fun place to be. Like, I enjoy going to school every day. There's so many fun things you can do as a student and be involved in to help better the community. I definitely think it's a great place to be.
I'm Nathan Hormel, I'm 15 years old. I'm the video editor at the Eagle Eye newspaper at Tyrone, and I'm going to talk about the Eagle Eye. The Eagle Eye is the school's publication. It used to be in print, but now, over the past 2 years, it's transitioned to an online format. We have a website, we maintain it ourselves, we cover all school events. This year, we've gotten the great opportunity to work with the Channel T staff. They're the school announcements that's televised over the video screens. We just have everything that we need to create a great publication. We go around and we just cover events and we have a good time with it. It's a lot of fun and it's a great experience. It starts in 9th grade with freshmen, and through their 4 years of high school, we train them, and when they graduate, they're great writers. Overall, we probably have around 40 kids. It's the first year that we've had to actually turn people down to get in. There's a lot of interest. You get a lot of experience with maintaining a website, and that's great for this day and age. Everything's moving to digital, so we get experience in that field. The program we run through is called SNOW, and it's student newspapers online. They had this thing last year, it was the Distinguished Sites Award. They have requirements, and we went through all of them, so we got distinguished with this site award. We're very proud of it. My ambitions have been greatly maximized by the Eagle Eye. It's given me a lot of opportunity to just hone my skills and with practice comes perfection. Being a Golden Eagle is a great feeling. It gives you a lot of school pride. There's a lot of spirit running through the school. Being in a small town is awesome. A lot of closeness. It's more like a family. I like it a lot. It's just very cool.
My name is Mike Yetton. I'm a scoutmaster for a troop that's local to Tyrone. And I'm also the property committee chair for Camp Anderson, which is also the local council camp that resides right outside of town. Camp Anderson has a very, very long history in our area. It was originally bequeathed by John Anderson, who was part owner of the paper mill. The other half of the money for it was donated by the town founders. That was done in 1920. Troops actually were started in this town in 1911, so it goes right back to the original creation of Boy Scouts of America. This camp is owned and regulated by our council, which stretches the whole way to the Ohio border and down into West Virginia, and it's open to actually anybody who is a Boy Scout member can rent it and use it for Boy Scout activities. We have a chapel, we have a new shower house, we have a shooting range, we have an archery range, we hope to have a climbing tower within the next couple of years. We have a pond that is stocked entirely with trout from the Bald Eagle Sportsman's Club, and we thank them very much because it keeps the boys very active, catching nice large fish. And we have lots of different campsites all throughout the camp. We've had a lot of usage by those troops. We have had many, many Boy Scout Eagle projects in Tyrone. The projects have to be done for a nonprofit organization. It's not so much the project itself that needs to be performed and completed, but the actual leadership that it takes to do that. We've done very well up here. My wife got a job at the Logan Valley Mall. I, at the time, worked in State College as a contractor. We came down here, and this town just embraced us wholeheartedly. It's just a great little town. It's a town that everybody knows everybody, and therefore everybody keeps an eye on all your kids, and they can't get away with anything, and therefore you have good kids when you're done. So
My name is Bill Anderson. I'm here to talk about the Little Juniata River and its importance to Tyrone. The Little Juniata River, which is now an excellent trout stream, was badly polluted for over 100 years through paper mills and other means. But in the recent years, our organization, the Little Juniata River Association, has really gone after those sources of pollution, including stream bank erosion in the headwaters, including wastewater management, which is now under pretty good control. The Little Juniata begins in the city of Altoona. Our headwaters are our most damaged waters. When it turns east in Tyrone, just east of town, it starts to pick up huge springs, and those springs then create the trout fishery. So what we have now is a Class A wild trout stream for 14 miles. It's the longest catch and release water in Pennsylvania. It's beginning to be more and more of an advantage from the standpoint of the economics of the area. Very few towns have a Class A wild trout stream flowing right through town. And in many cases out west in particular, in some eastern cities and small towns, the trout stream is the center of commerce. It brings many people to visit and much activity and much attention. Tyrone is sitting right in the middle of the river. There's 15 miles of river upstream and 15 miles of river downstream, so it is ideally situated. It's our goal to keep it that way and make it even better, and that's what our organization tries to do. It's also the only eastern trout stream that is really accessible by train. So you can get on a train in Pittsburgh with your equipment and get off here and fish the river and take the train back home. I wish somebody would actually do that sometime.
I am Jill Fitzgerald, and I'm here to talk about the Round Table Club of Tyrone. It's one of many study clubs that came out of that time period: Shakespearean societies, women's study clubs, and reading groups. It evolved from the Chautauqua movement, which was a summer encampment where people gathered to talk about literature and things. The motto of the club was "We Seek Knowledge." We still take the motto very seriously. We seek knowledge as part of what we think is the basis for the club, and we like to try and connect with the original women of the club. Women write a paper about a topic that they've been given, and then they present it. The things that you do best are the things that you love best, and that comes out in each person as they entertain their topic. One thing that we currently have is a geocache, which is hidden down near the library. The geocache came out of a paper that was done by Chris Fernandez. She was interested in this and shared it with us. And actually that night we were meeting at a house where there was a geocache hidden. And we all took flashlights out down at Irish Flats and went out and found our very first geocache. We had a good time, and like I said, because people share what's interesting to them, it connects us, and we enjoy the creativity of each other. We enjoy the personalities. There are different age groups, different occupations, different backgrounds, different education. All of these things are a variety that we have in Round Table Club. I got a chance to sit down and talk with one of our honorary members, Lou Beringer, just recently, and I asked her what was one of her favorite memories or one of her best memories of the Round Table Club, and without hesitation she said the laughter. We feel a connection. We feel a connection from the early Tyrone, and we feel a connection to the future of the Tyrone Round Table Club, which we feel like we would like to see continue for the next 100 years.
Hi, my name is Sue Greep. I am president of Tyrone Events and Promotions Committee, and I'm here to talk about the many activities that we offer during the year as part of the committee. It's a small group of people that volunteer their time. We meet every Tuesday to come up with ideas, and we offer about 10 activities and events in the community. The group started as Tyrone Merchants Association, trying to come up with safe, family-oriented events. One of our biggest one is Tyrone Irish Heritage. Many Irish settled here. The businesses join together during the week, and then we take over on Friday night with a kickoff, fireworks, Irish music, and dancing downtown. Saturday morning starts bright and early with our Irish race. We have vendors and food and crafts and the parade. We have Faith Day, which brings together many of the churches in the area to celebrate and reconnect. And then we have Tyrone Community Days at Del Grosso Park. Then we have the Labor Day picnic. And then we had the Heroes Run. And then we had Walk the Wine, which is a new event this year. And then we go into our Christmas events. Walk the Wine is 12 different wineries being located in the different businesses throughout the community. We had probably 700 people in town walking through the businesses and enjoying a night together with music and being able to taste some wine. And it was just fun to see so many people walking through the streets and reconnecting. The beauty of our community is there's no limits. If we can dream it, we can do it. We do it because we're committed to the town. We want to show and showcase our town, that it's a nice place for a business to set up, nice place to raise your children, and a nice place to come back home. And we are seeing a lot of people plan their vacations and their class reunions and their weekends around our events, and that's such a good thing for Tyrone to have.
Stay tuned for more as we feature the Allegheny Chorale, the Tyrone Hospital, and take a tour of local churches. But right now, show your support for Tyrone and WPSU by pledging now. Thank you. As the man said, please make your pledge right now, 1-800-245-9779. Good evening, I'm Greg Peterson of the WPSU staff. We're here taking your pledges for our town, Tyrone. Now, we put down a flag of 140 pledges. We need 50 more, I've been told. So we're almost there. 1-800-245-9779. Our phone volunteers are from Tyrone. We're going to be talking to his honor in a few minutes. Don't go away, but call right 800-245-9779. Make your pledge for a $75 pledge. We can send you a DVD of the show you're watching right now, Our Town Tyrone, and for $120, we can send you 2 copies. Our way of saying thanks for your support for your public TV station. And here, because we love her, and you know you love her, and she has names to read on the air, Lindsay Whistle.
I do have names to read. Thank you, Greg. First name I want to read. So we're getting our 50-state challenge, and now we have Massachusetts, unless my geography is bad, and MA is not Massachusetts. Susan Nota Francesco. I grew up in Tyrone and live in Mass now. I'm really enjoying the program. Thank you so much for streaming it live. Well, thank you so much for watching and for making that pledge of support. Sounds like we have some phone volunteers open. I don't hear any phones ringing, so now would be a great time to make your pledge. We want to say another few thank yous first, though. We want to say thank you to Rosalind and Luther Laird from Tyrone. Thank you, Rosalind and Luther. We want to say Sally Miller of Tyrone. Thank you, Sally. And another anonymous pledge from Tyrone. So much community support coming in tonight. And Connie Espy from Tyrone. Thank you all for your pledges. Again, it's awfully quiet in here for an Our Town pledge night, so we want to hear from you. 1-800-245-9779. You can also go online, WPSU.org. For that $75 pledge, you get your very own copy of Our Town Tyrone. $75, $120, you get 2 copies, Our Town Tyrone. Any amount is appreciated and goes directly into supporting programs like the Our Town series. So don't wait, make that call while the phone lines are open. Only takes a few minutes, then you can sit back, relax, and enjoy all the rest of the great stories coming up on Our Town Tyrone.
We have 8 phones open right now. It's a great time to call. If you've enjoyed the program, this is your time to call in and say, hey, I support programs like Our Town Tyrone here on my local public television station, WPSU. This is really what local PBS is all about, telling great stories about communities that we hold near and dear, and that's what the folks of Tyrone have. They put themselves on the line, they came and told their stories, and tonight they're sharing them with their community. What a wonderful tribute to Tyrone, and what a wonderful partnership that we enjoy with towns like Tyrone when we come into each town and spend time with them. We really enjoy this program. It's one of my favorite things that we do here at PBS, and I know many of you enjoy it because we're hearing from you tonight, and that's what we want to thank Ann and Rich Sear of Tyrone for calling in. This is one of my favorite times of the night because we start to get a lot of thank yous at this point in the evening. And Mike, and so they're just stacking up. We have Mike and Becky Rosick of Tyrone. Thank you, Mike and Becky, for calling in. We want to thank Donald Hollenbach of Tyrone. Donald, thank you for your phone call tonight. We want to thank Charlie and Marge Hoyer of Tyrone, Pennsylvania. Charlie and Marge, thank you. We want to thank Verdon and Lynette Latchford, Verdon Jr. Of Altoona, calling in tonight. We appreciate that. We also want to thank Brenda Garrity of Tyrone making a pledge to us tonight to support our town, Tyrone, here on your local public television station, WPSU. And we have an anonymous pledge from Williamsport. So we're hearing from a lot of folks tonight. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. The folks from Tyrone are here to take your call, and we want to celebrate great local public, great programming like you're seeing here on your local public television station, WPSU. Give us a call to make a pledge of support for our town, Tyrone, and make the next our town possible. And Greg, as promised, has a special guest with him tonight, so we're going to head on over to Greg.
Well, I have, it's always dangerous to put a microphone in front of a politician, but I'm going to take a chance here.
That's true.
I have His Honor Mayor Fink with me right now from the great borough, is it a borough?
Borough.
Borough of Tyrone. And I understand it's gone through several name changes over the years. It was called Tyrone City at one time.
At one time.
And then they changed it down to Tyrone.
It did.
And then it was named after Schleswisberg, or I forget.
It's hard to say, but it's Tyrone now.
It's Tyrone now.
And our folks over there enjoy it being Tyrone.
Well, what do you think of the show so far?
I think the show's great. I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. What I'm really interested in is I want to see them beat this 140 that you set out for.
Yeah, 140
I'd like to see
pledges.
them beat it. We are Tyrone, and we like it that way. And I think what we need to do here is the Tyrone people need to come alive and start ringing these phones back here and make these people ding the bell. Make them work. They're sitting back here. Make them work.
They're not doing anything.
Hey, and I know that Tyrone can do this. I know they can do it.
And
so,
what number should they call?
Well, they should call 1-800-245-9779.
Right on the TV set. Look, we're right
it's
right
underneath
there.
it.
It's right underneath it.
It's amazing. Technology, isn't it?
Technology is an amazing thing.
I do want to thank one of our council people, Bill Latchford, did call in.
Oh, good.
And that's good. We'd like to hear maybe
What about the other council
It's a good question. I'd maybe like to hear from some of them.
What's going on here?
Hey, I don't know. But I think the people out there in Tyrone, I think they're going to beat this 140. I think they may come close to 175 or 200. I hope so. I hope the phones start banging and bonging back here.
You're going to make up the difference if they don't.
There you go. I knew it would get around to money.
It always does, doesn't it?
It does.
Your Honor, thank you very much for coming.
Welcome, sir.
Call us 1-800-245-9779.
That's right, guys. Let's get on the phone there. Let's hear some Tyrone names coming across here. It's really good to people from out of state. Come on down.
Thanks. Whitney? Lizzie?
That's all right. Happens all the time. So speaking of those Tyrone names and names in general, we want to say thank you to Marlene Steimer from Tyrone, Pennsylvania. I think that happened because I've also done some work on the Our Town, so people mix this up. But and we want to say thank you to Jane Fink from Tyrone. And I'm sorry, Frank and Anna McLean were from Hollidaysburg. I think it said Tyrone. And I said Marlene Steimer, and also to Jane Fink, who is from the class of 1951. So we are throwing out that class challenge. I think I read run from 1975. So we want to hear from your class, from you, whether you live in Tyrone now, lived there once, have family there, anything. 1-800-245-9779. Again, we have some great ways to say thank you for your pledge of support. $75 gets you a DVD of Our Town Tyrone. $120 gets you 2 DVDs, but any amount is appreciated. I realize this time of year it's the holidays and lots is going on and lots of demands on your checkbook, but this is one demand. Public television that stands the test of time, that also pays it forward. Your investment not only gets you those great thank you programs and gets you the joy of the program you're watching tonight, like the Our Town series, but it also goes into keeping the institution of public television going for you, for future generations who might pick up a camera one day and make their own version of Our Town. We have been known to come back to towns. We love telling those stories. With each generation, there's a new story to be told, and the stories are given time only through support of viewers like you. So don't wait. 1-800-245-9779.
Thank you, Whitney. No, Whitney and Carly are actually our colleagues who produce the Our Town Tyrone series, and they go into the town, and as we've been talking, they work with the great townspeople that are here answering the phones tonight and the other ones that you've seen throughout the stories, and they help them tell their stories. And they're stories about Tyrone, the community, it's about the history, it's about the culture, and it's stories that you simply won't see anywhere else. And Bill Wallace, who's our videographer, and Jen Bortz, who does audio, they come in and they spend a lot of time with these communities. And I had the privilege of going to the preview the other night along with Greg and Carly, and we just had a wonderful time, and the Tyrone community made us feel really welcome and at the library, and went to the original Italian pizza and had some good dinner that night. Tyrone's what a great community. And you know, a lot of times when I visit these communities, I know a little bit about them. Some of them I know a little more about. Tyrone was one that I thought I knew a lot about, but it's when I watch this program that I learn about sites that I want to see, or learn about things I didn't know, like the Circus accident. And we have a lot of great stories coming up, so you're going to want to stick around for that. We have a great story on the Allegheny Chorale that is just really heartfelt and touching. So stick around for that. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. What we're asking you tonight is put a value on the programming that comes into your home each night. The great programming, the great local stories that you see about your community. You won't find them anywhere else, and it's on your local public television station, WPSU, and we're asking you to give these folks a call. Although one phone just opened up, but if you wait about 30 seconds, we'll be glad to take your call then. Again, write down that number. We continue to be here throughout the program, and we're happy to take a call from you. Do have two quick thank yous to pass along. We want to thank Dawn and Mary Wagner of Tyrone for calling in, yet another person supporting their local public television station, your local public television station, WPSU. And we want to thank Deborah Golden, also of Tyrone, hearing from a lot of Tyrone folks. The mayor, I think, has upped our challenge to 200, so we're looking forward to hearing from more of you tonight, right, Greg?
That's right. Give us a call, make your pledge. For a pledge of $75 or more, we can send you a DVD of the show you're watching right now, Our Town Tyrone. For $120, we can send you 2 copies. If you put it on your credit card, your Visa, your MasterCard, your American Express, or your Discover, we'll get it to you before the holidays, guaranteed before holiday delivery, so you can give it as a gift. So that's our promise to you. You make a pledge right now. Making pledges, Jim and Bonnie Crawford of Tyrone. Thank you very much, Jim and Bonnie. And we also heard from Aaron and Michael Luther. They live in Altoona. Thank you very much. And vying for one of the long-distance pledges, Sandy and Jean Meredith, class of 1953. They live in Paducah, Kentucky right now. So thank you very much for tuning in from Paducah. 1-800-245-9779. Now, every time we hear a bell ring, we get a pledge, but it's a holiday season, so not only do we get a pledge, but an angel gets its wings. So 1-800-245-9779. We want to give out wings tonight. We want to make new members, new friends. We can only do that if you call the number on your screen or go online to WPSU.org and make your pledge. Lindsay?
Speaking of new friends, we have not just the new friends who are on the phones right now. We have a whole bunch of other new friends from Tyrone in the studio who came out tonight, who got in their cars and came out on this cold December night to support Our Town Tyrone. All we're asking you to do is pick up the phone, so don't wait. 1-800-245-9779. We want to say thank you. We are continuing with our class challenge. We've got a few different class members who called in. We want to say thank you to Connie Herbster Moore, class of 75. Thank you for your pledge of support. We have Karen Mayhew from Tyrone, Karen and Tiffany Mayhew, Tyrone graduates. Love these classes. We heard they're my neighbors. That's what you hear on Our Town Nights. I love this community. Richard and Yvonne White from, I'm guessing from Tyrone, so thank you, Richard and Yvonne. William Carpenter, class of 74, so we've got those classes still coming in. We want to hear from your class. We've got a lot of years, a lot of decades we haven't hit yet, so keep those coming. We've got plenty of time to hear from them. And Jason Henninger and his wife Natasha of Tyrone, and Susie and Lee Walls from Tyrone. Thank you all for taking that time again. These folks came in to talk to you. You're warm in your homes. We just want you to pick up that phone, or you can go online, WPSU.org. Make that pledge. Any amount is appreciated.
We have another thank you to pass along. We heard from Steve Gilday of Hollidaysburg, who called in honor of Mayor Fink. Mayor Fink was on just a few minutes ago and issued, I don't know if it's a proclamation or an edict or challenge, but we're trying to get to 200 calls. The phones have died off a little bit, so we may have to drag the mayor back out. I'm thinking that might just happen. Oh, there we go. They're scared of the mayor. Yeah, they're calling. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. And we have many thank yous and to support your local public television station, WPSU. We want to thank Chuck Bennis of Warriors Mark, Chuck and Cindy Bennis calling in tonight. Thank you very much. We want to thank Betty Rogers of Tyrone, Pennsylvania. Betty, thank you for calling in tonight. We have an anonymous pledge of Tyrone. Thank you for calling in tonight. We want to thank Jim Worley of Punxsutawney, who called in honor of his mother, Ann McCullough Worley. So thank you to Jim for calling in tonight. And we mentioned Steve calling in, and thanks for the mayor, Mayor Fink. Thank you for joining us tonight and helping to make this program a great success. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. We're trying to get to 200 calls. I will probably get a little bit of a status update here in a few minutes, but 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call, or log on to WPSU.org. It is a safe, secure site that you should have no worries about. I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4 phones open right now, so this is a good time to give us a call to take advantage of those two Our Town DVD. A gift of $75 will get you one copy of that. If you can step up to your giving to a $120 level, we'll send you both. You may want to keep one for yourself, maybe pass one on to a loved one for the holidays. It's a great way to pass them on to your grandchildren or your children so that they know the great stories of Tyrone. I know many people take advantage of that. If you put your pledge on a credit card, we will do our best to get that to you before the holidays. And I know our pledge department, when we say we will do our best, we will make it happen. 1-800-245-9779.
Now, we started with a goal of 140 pledges. We're at 113 now, so within striking distance of that 140. But His Honor, the mayor, Mr. Fink, decided that no. We want 200 pledges. So, who are we to argue with the mayor of Tyrone? So we have a long way to go, short time to get there. We can do it. 1-800-245-9779. Now, Susie O'Brien wants to put out a challenge to all circus fans of America to support our Tyrone circus history, including the world's largest circus train wreck in 1893. Special shout out to Adam Forepaugh and Barry Lubin, tent number 2, Altoona State College. They know what that means. So how about, I don't think we've read pledges from Barry Lubin and Adam Forepaugh, so come on, make a pledge. 1-800-245-9779. These names don't come on the air cheaply, Lindsay?
We have a special name that just came on the air. We want to say thank you to WPSU's very own Byron Conrad, whose mother is also here tonight, ready and willing to take your call. Thank you, Byron. We also want to say thank you to Charles and Sharon Dunaway of Tyrone. Thank you so much for your pledge of support. The Peter Barron family from Tyrone, thank you for your pledge of support. Harry and Susie Johnson of Tipton. Becky Swan, who's the class of 2006. We still have our class challenge going. We want to hear from your class, especially if we haven't heard from it yet. Calling from Mapleton Depot. Elizabeth Boyle of the Caterpillar Corner Daycare in Tyrone, thank you. And Dan Sprankle Auto Outlet from Tyrone. All of those pledges, we just got another one in. That bell means we got another pledge in. We have our volunteers here. You can make that call, or you can go online, WPSU.org. Every dollar goes towards programming like Our Town, so your pledge actually pays it forward. Somebody else made a pledge on the Blast Our Town that paid it forward. It made it possible for us to do Our Town Tyrone. So your pledge now is paying it forward to the next town that will get this wonderful experience of getting to go in and share what makes their town special. So 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call to pay that pledge forward.
Great, and we have a special guest here with us. Mayor Fink is back, and so Mayor Fink, we've upped this challenge. Is that what a mayor, was it a proclamation, or what would you say?
Well, we upped the ante. I think 200 calls, and believe me, Tyrone can do this. Tyrone is a town that can come together and they can make this happen. And I've got a lot of confidence in the people over there. I mean, I had to think when they elected me the second time, I think maybe confidence, but
I think that is a vote of confidence.
It's a vote of confidence.
They're bringing you back.
I think they can do this. I think Tyrone can come in here and they can make the pledges we need to make this very worthwhile night for us, and let's go. Let's just go. The phones aren't ringing. I've got Maureen Drain back here sitting, playing with her pencil, and they're just not ringing. So let's make it happen.
Well, yeah, it's great people of Tyrone, and we've really been made feel welcome by them. I think there was somebody you were going to call out that maybe you wanted to hear from tonight.
Well, I was gonna mention we're hearing all these classes, 74, 76. Where's class of 64? Class of 64 was my class. they've already got my money, so why not the rest of the class of 64? Come on, let's make these phones ring, let's call in, let's get these folks back here busy, and let's make this happen tonight.
So Mayor, you want to tell them how to call in?
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can say they need to call 1-800-245-9779. And this time I got a guy more my size. The last guy I was...
Oh, I know. I feel that way too most of the time when I'm with Greg.
Big. Oh, here he comes. Big fella. Big fella. Wow.
There's advantages to being short, right?
Yes,
right?
there is.
Yeah.
I didn't hit my head on any of this equipment coming over here.
That is right. Yeah, me too.
There you go.
All right.
Well, let's get them going here. Let's get these phones ringing. Let's make these people work for a living tonight, and let's get some of these pledges happening. And let's get Tyrone on the map for a large number of pledges.
Well,
here.
Mayor, we can't thank you enough for joining us tonight. We can't thank you enough for helping support this program, Our Town, and supporting your local public television station, WPSU.
It's a great thing. I mean, public television is a very worthwhile endeavor, and I'm sure the folks out there agree with me. I can tell by the way the pledges are coming in. I hope they keep it up.
We're hearing from them tonight. Greg, over to you.
The Fink Challenge has been met not only by the mayor, but also by Jeff and Angie Fink of Altoona, who called in a pledge. Thank you very much. We've heard from Linda Durman from the class of 1959 in Tyrone. Thank you very much, Linda. And also Dan and Lisa Engel of Tyrone. They've all called in a pledge. We thank them very much. We're on our way to 200 calls. We have a ways to go, but we can get there if you, who have been watching but have not made a call yet, make a call. 1-800-245-9779. Lindsay.
Thank you to some people who made those calls, to Jim and Pam Dowenbaugh of Tyrone, also to Jeff Howard of Howard's Appliance Services in Tyrone, to Bob and Nancy Sloss of Tyrone. Loving the Tyrone support here. Let's face it, when else would you get called out by the mayor of your town to step up? And we are meeting that challenge with every single one of these pledges. And Don and Nancy Patton of Tyrone. So thank you all for those pledges. Still have a ways to go before we hit that Fink Challenge, if we're calling it. We do have some phones, some volunteers who came in, brave the weather to come out tonight. It's a cold night. They could be curled up like you watching at home. We want to hear that call of support, 1-800-245-9779. Go online, WPSU.org. Again, any amount is appreciated and goes towards funding these programs, paying it forward for the next Our Town. But for that $75 pledge, you get the Our Town DVD for a pledge of $75, $120, you get 2 DVDs. So what a value there. And again, holiday season coming up makes a great gift. But the important thing is that you make that call again, any pledge. We have our class challenge going. We want to hear from every single class. I've thrown out a challenge. I want to see how many different states we can hear, how far the reach of Tyrone, Pennsylvania goes. So we want to hear from you. Let us know where you're living. If you were part of Tyrone or have family there, we want to hear that. 1-800-245-9779. And I think we have some more thank yous to give.
Yeah,
Kevin?
So Mayor Fink and the people of Tyrone, thank you so much for calling out to support your local public television station, WPSU. Linda Snyder of Tyrone taking the mayor's challenge, calling in to say, I support Our Town Tyrone and my local public television station, WPSU. We also heard from Willa Johnston, her maiden name, Adams, from class of 1971, Tyrone Area High School, and she says, class of 1971, let's hear your pledge. So hearing from more of the classes, there's a great story coming up on the 1962 class and a little party they had and a really special gift they gave to the Tyrone Area High School, so you're going to want to stick around for that. We have Bill Harshman of Tyrone, Bill and Ann Harshman, calling in their pledge of support. They're saying, I support my local public television station, WPSU. George Settle of Tyrone. George, thank you for your pledge of support. And we want to thank Bob and Linda Woomer of Tyrone, Pennsylvania. Won't you be the next calling in to say, I support great local programming, great stories like I'm seeing tonight on Our Town Tyrone. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call, or you can log on to WPSU.org. It's a safe, secure site.
Coming up, we have stories on the Rotary Club, the class of 1962, as Kevin aforementioned, the hospital, churches, and the Allegheny Chorale. So we got a lot to come, but now's your opportunity to call a Chorale member right there. 1-800-245-9779. Call and make your pledge. Go online to WPSU.org and make your pledge that way. Now, because it's the holidays, we know people want to give away the Our Town Tyrone DVD as a gift. If you make a pledge on a credit card, we can get you the DVDs before the holidays. Pat Smith guarantees it. So it's $75 for an Our Town DVD or $120 for 2 DVDs. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Visa if you want it in time for the holidays. So call right now. I look behind me and I see like 4 or 5 phones open. So the Fink challenge is kind of withering right now. We need to bring it back. Ooh, it's a withering challenge. 1-800-245-9779. Lindsay?
I have faith in Tyrone. I think we are going to meet that challenge, and we have a stack more pledges that's on our way to meet that challenge. We're going to think about why do we read these pledges one at a time, because that is how we raise the funding to make programs like Our Town, like the Our Town series, one pledge at a time. And also because each and every one of these we appreciate and we want to take time on the air to acknowledge. So not only are we taking the time to tell the stories of your town, we're taking time to personally thank you for playing your part, for being a stakeholder in the Our Town series. So a special thank you to Sunny and Betsy Woomer of Tyrone. Thank you for your pledge of support. To Amy and Amy Steves, I think it's Amy and Rachel Kemp of Tyrone. Thank you for your pledge. We really appreciate it. Ooh, and we're sticking together here. Diane and Craig Irwin of Tyrone, thank you so much. See, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm getting tongue-tied. Todd Camerata, Eagle Eye News Advisor of Altoona, Pennsylvania, thank you. Fred Knoll of Tyrone, thank you, Fred, for your pledge, for taking part, for paying it forward for the next Tyrone to happen. Norman and Cassie I of Tyrone, and I think we're back at the beginning, so we have time on air to read more of those pledges and to thank you for being a part of the Our Town series and of continuing the tradition of public television, of paying it forward and making programs possible through community-supported programming. 1-800-245-9779.
And the phones are getting a little quiet. If you can make a donation at the level, a pledge of membership to your local public television station, WPSU, at the $75 level, we'll be glad to send along 1 DVD copy of the Our Town Tyrone. That's our thank you to you for your pledge of support. If you can step up your giving to $120, we'll be glad to send you 2 copies, perhaps 1 for you and 1 for a loved one. If you can make your pledge on a credit card, our membership department will do their best, which I know means they will make it happen to get those DVDs to you for the holidays. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. Folks from here in Tyrone are taking your calls tonight. We do have a few phones open, so this is a good time to give us a call. We had that challenge of 140 calls. We are just under that right now, so 1 or 2 more calls. We just passed it. 136 calls, so just a few more and we'll pass that. But then the mayor has upped the ante, Tyrone, so we're hoping that you can deliver, and I know you will. We have 1 more break coming up, so write down the number. You can call us here during the next portion of the program, and then we'll be back at the end to hear more from the folks of Tyrone and thank many of you who call in. We want to read each and every one of your names tonight here in support of your local public television station, WPSU. We have a lot of great stories coming up. The Allegheny Chorale, that special gift we've been talking about from the class of 1962. It's a great block, and it's one of my favorites. So stick around for the next part of the program and give us a call.
You can also make your pledge at WPSU.org. Click on Contribute at the top of the page. It's always available and easy to use. Thanks.
My name is Bud Boom, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the Rotary Club of Tyrone. The primary goal is service above self, so it's a civic organization. Not every town has one, but the towns that do have it hopefully are benefiting from whatever the Rotary members are doing to benefit that town. We have several major projects throughout the year. Starting in the springtime, we do what we call Family Fun Blast. We go on through the summer doing various barbecues. The largest chicken barbecue that we have is for Tyrone Day, which is the first Friday in August. Usually about 600 or 700 chickens, and we do those for lunch and dinner both, so it's an all-day affair. We just got through with our major fundraiser, which is Farm City Day. Well, Farm City Day actually started in 1984, so we just went through our 31st Farm City Day. Basically was started as a venue to get farmers and townspeople together for a day of enjoyment. We'd have cows, calves, horses, sheep, goats, all kinds of animals. And today it's tending to be more urban. It's more of a craft fair today than what it was back then. We have a group now of probably just a little under 20. So we've got I would say, a good base. Always looking for more. I came to this town in 1981. One of my local farmers came to me and said, hey, if you're going to do business in town, you need to give back to this town. That's kind of how I got involved. And I've always thought of our Rotarians as just like family members. When I go there at night, it's just like walking into my living room, and I do enjoy it.
My name is Patty Miller Geist, and I am a graduate of the class of 1962 from Tyrone Area High School. We were the last class to complete all of our courses in the old high school, which was on Lincoln Avenue, but the first class to hold its commencement and baccalaureate services in the new high school on Clay Avenue. When we were planning our 50-year reunion, one of our classmates, Jim Chronister, had this vision that he would love to see a Golden Eagle statue placed at the new high school. We didn't know if we could pull it off, but after a little research, we thought, let's try it. The donations came completely from classmates. We had a big milestone year this year. All of the members have turned 70. We thought, well, this would be the perfect time to do it. So we began the weekend of September 12th and 13th by attending a home football game. Saturday morning, we went to the new high school for our dedication of the Golden Eagle statue. And of course it rained, but it couldn't have worked out any better. It was absolutely fabulous. Saturday evening, we had our big night. We had our 70th birthday party, and we went back in time. Our very first song was Cher's If You Could Turn Back Time, and about 8 of us came out dressed in poodle skirts and T-shirts rolled up and got the evening going. It was a lot of fun. Our crowd, when they get together, are just fantastic. They have a good time. We're a pretty tight-knit group. We have a luncheon once a month. I receive a lot of comments from classmates, California, Washington, Florida, who are just thrilled that we've been able to do this. Social media does have its benefits. It's almost as though the years are not even there from 1962 until 2014. We get together and everyone's just one big happy family.
My name's Chuck Banis. I'm Vice President of the Tyrone Hospital Board of Directors, and I'm here today to talk about the Tyrone Regional Health Network, along with the Tyrone Hospital. The hospital was established in 1954. It's located here in Tyrone, Pennsylvania, right off Interstate I-99, easily accessible, and it has a beautiful wooded campus with walking trails, ample parking, and it continues to grow and develop over the years here. General surgery obviously is big, and we've also grown with University Orthopedics and Blue Orthopedics, our orthopedic surgeries. We have people coming in from all over central Pennsylvania to take advantage of the quality of those surgeries. Just continuously growing at ear, nose, and throat physicians, gynecologist services, digital mammography, which we're very proud of with the new digital mammography suite, lab services. Tyrone Fitness and Wellness Center. It's a brand new building that we opened here about a year ago on our campus. It has offices for Women's Health Institute. We also have an ophthalmologist department there. We have the ProCare Physical Therapy that sees patients there, and we also have a fitness center which is totally equipped. They promote Zumba, yoga classes, and even indoor cycling. Our Women's Health Institute has really become one of the leaders in women's health and breast care, being able to do surgeries, diagnostic treatments, testing. Currently, the Wellness Center is seeing women from New York. They're coming up from Maryland, all over central Pennsylvania, And the word just basically has been spreading about the quality of services and the outcome. Everybody rolls their sleeves up, whether it be housekeeping, clear up to their general surgeon. It's friendly, caring, and people really enjoy having to come there. Everybody has that passion where it is our hospital, and that goes clear into the community. It's just an awesome thing to see, and it's growing every day.
I'm Todd Lewis, and I'm a Christian businessman from Tyrone, and I'm here to report today on Christian ministries of the area Christian churches, the Tyrone area. There really are a variety of ways that different churches are reaching the people around them, and also different ways that they're showing praise to God. The Bible Baptist Church in Warriors Mark, every summer, those of us that drive on that road will see little road signs that they're having a vacation Bible school, and it's an outreach to children, but it ultimately involves both men and women in their church that are leading the event. The Good Shepherd Methodist Church in Tyrone has built a gymnasium as an outreach and opportunity. They have a Thrive ministry, which is kind of focused towards young men. They also happen to have they call it a kind of community closet, where they are offering clothing for needy families. Grace Baptist Church recently constructed a new building, and that building includes a large sanctuary as well as a large community area. The Grace Baptist Church is active with an Awana ministry, which is to young children, but it's led by many families, so it involves men and women adults, parents and others. Grace also has an active music ministry. They have an active choir, and they also have a drama group that puts on holiday theater productions, which are offered to the community. For a number of years, the Tyrone Presbyterian Church has hosted a Meals on Wheels ministry. It's a service to shut-ins and elderly, those that may have difficulty preparing their own meals. And what's kind of unique with that ministry is it's not just a Presbyterian effort, but it's actually being shared with a number of churches that help to cook and prepare those meals and deliver them. At the Warriors Mark Methodist Church, they also have constructed a large community gymnasium as well as a serving area. It hosts the Cub Scout and Boy Scout troops, and they also have a daycare, and their church has been active with a number of community events to bring the community of Warriors Mark together. Wesley Methodist Church offers a food bank, which a lot of area churches contribute to the food bank, and then Wesley gathers the food together and then holds a distribution for those in need for food. The Tyrone community is over 150 years old, and many of our churches were built 100 years ago. And people tend to think of churches, sometimes they think of them like museums. Many of these ministries help people or get people encouraged or enthused. And I think you'll see that from every church in Tyrone in some way, seeking to reach out to their neighbors, seeking to share the gifts that we've been given.
Hi, I'm Scott Hiller. I'm going to talk about the W.F. Hiller Agency Incorporated. My great-great-grandfather came over from Germany in the 1840s and settled here in Tyrone in 1855. He was a saddle and harness maker, and he's the one that built the building, and he had his shop in where the agency is now. My great-grandfather apparently had arthritis. He wanted to get in a line of work that didn't involve using his hands. So in 1892, he started the insurance agency. And the story goes that he got married because he wanted someone to do the paperwork. I believe that we are the oldest family-owned business still in the same family here in Tyrone. My grandfather moved the agency from upstairs, downstairs to where it is today. And he ran the agency until he died in 1967. My father joined the agency in 1949 after he got out of the service in World War II. He remodeled the front in 1967. However, the counter is still the same one I remember as a child. I can remember going down there as a child. My grandfather let me clean the window. Dad really did a great job in building up the agency. I joined the agency in 1982. Dad continued to work in the agency until about 2006, and I think the only reason he hung around was to keep an eye on me. And my 2 daughters came to me about 2 years ago and said that when I got ready to retire that they were going to take over the agency. They wanted to keep it going in the family, so I was very, very pleased about that. I love Tyrone. I've been all around the world. I've been to all 50 states. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. It's just so nice and beautiful. It's a good place to raise a family. I love the mountains here, just the way it is, and my family is very rooted here. We've been here for a long time.
Hi, my name's Maureen Drain, and I'm here to talk about the adult choir in our community called Allegheny Chorale. About 30 years ago, a group of community people got involved in promoting the arts. Allegheny Chorale is an adult choir. It is a group of people that has grown now to 75 members, and we perform at Christmas time and again in the spring, and it's just amazing. We do not require auditions, and there's no requirement to even know how to read music because the director will walk you through all that. By the time the director gets us ready for performance, we are as sharp and as melodic as any choir that you've ever heard. We do secular music, we do traditional church music. We make a beautiful noise. The other thing that is wonderful that our current director, Debbie, has been able to do is attract other musicians. We performed with a string quartet. We have a new brass ensemble that's being put together, and it really does make a bigger noise. The community supports us in that we've always performed to a full house. They support us through fundraising. Altogether, it just makes a really polished performance. When I was 18, I couldn't get out of here fast enough. It was like, I am shaking this little town off me, and I'm going out to see the big world. And I did. And then had a family need to come home, made the decision to relocate, and it was comical because the people that I worked with in New York were like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I was like, "It's my hometown. Like, I'm not going to Idaho where I don't know anyone. I'm coming home." And it really did feel like that then once I got here. And when people say that small towns sometimes are like, "Ugh, everybody knows your business." Well, there could be a downside to that, but there's an upside to that too, because people come forward readily in an hour of need because they know your business. And I've enjoyed being home for those reasons.
And that's Our Town Tyrone, a look at the Blair County community through the eyes of its residents. Support for Our Town Tyrone comes from Martin Oil Company and Martin General Stores, proudly serving Central Pennsylvania for over 50 years. The Bullpen Restaurant, Lounge, and Banquet Facility, located in the Tyrone Shopping Center, supporting civic organizations and serving the people of Tyrone and their guests for more than 40 years. American Eagle Paper Mills, producing chlorine-free recycled paper products and committed to the responsible use and protection of our environment. Proud to call Tyrone home. And from viewers like you, thank you.
Right now are all the people who made the show possible, all the volunteers who gave their time and their energy, and then you saw the underwriters who helped support the program. Our Town Tyrone. Good evening, I'm Greg Peterson. Now is your opportunity, your final opportunity tonight to call 1-800-245-9779 and make your pledge. Many of the people whose names you see on the screen right now are behind me answering the phones. We thank them for their yeoman service coming up tonight from Tyrone, answering the phones and taking your pledges. We had a goal of 140. We've blown through that. We're at 152 pledges. We need 48 more pledges to get to Mayor Fink's goal of 200. So, you know, it may be a stretch, but But we made our original goal. That's great. Let's see how much farther we can go. 1-800-245-9779 is the number for you to call to become a member of your public TV station. Or you can go online to WPSU.org. For a pledge of $75, we can send you a DVD of the program, $120, 2 DVDs. And if you put it on your MasterCard, your Visa, your American Express, or your Discover, we'll get it to you before the holidays so you can give it away as a gift. Call right now with your pledge, 1-800-245-9779. Get all the phones lit up. Our volunteers are from Tyrone. We thank you for your pledge. And now with some thank yous, I believe, here is Carly.
Thanks, Greg. There's plenty of phones open here in the studio this evening, so please call in with your pledges of support for public television. I hope that you all enjoyed the Our Town Tyrone program this evening, and I want to say a special thank you to the Tyrone-Snyder Public Library. Yes, for the library. They have been a huge help, as well as the Tyrone Area Historical Society, the Tyrone History Museum, and the Tyrone Borough. Thank you all so much for welcoming us into your town and opening your arms and letting us come in and help you share your stories on public television. Please make your call right now at 1-800-245-9779. I have some thank yous that I want to read. Gary and Peggy Zimmerman Monsell, thank you so much. From the class of 64 and 63, donated to the Bellwood Library. As well as Jim Kilmartin, thank you. From the Jim Kilmartin family, we thank you for your pledge from the Tyrone area. The Joshua House, thank you so much. That pledge was made by Jim Kilmartin again. And Bob and Linda Albright, thank you for making your pledge. We want to hear from you. The phones are still open. We want to hear them. Ring 1-800-245-9779. Lindsay?
I think we are going to rally and make that goal. We're so close, so we want your call. Every call counts. It puts us closer to the Think Challenge. We want to say thank you to James Lego, who also called in to say happy birthday to Barb Miller. So what a great way to say happy birthday and also support public television in your town of Tyrone. So that is James Lego from Tyrone. Thank you so much. Selena Babb from State College. She is a class of 2005, so we're keeping that class challenge going. We've got so many challenges tonight. You got to bring it, Tyrone. You got your class challenge, you got your Fink challenge. We also want to say thank you to Ron Johnston from Altoona. Thank you, Ron. Norma Getz from Tyrone, and another anonymous pledge from Tyrone. You know what's missing in the stack of piles? Is your name. So we want to be able to thank you for your call. There is still time, but again, you do not want to be that person walking around Tyrone tomorrow who did not call and make your pledge of support. We've got all your friends and neighbors here. We want to hear from you. And again, that $75 pledge gets you your very own copy of Our Town Tyrone on DVD, or for $120, you get 2 copies of Our Town Tyrone. But any pledge is appreciated. 1-800-245-9779.
Call now with your pledge. We have a ways to go. Helping us get there, Lou Behringer from Tyrone. Thank you very much, Lou. We also heard from, Jim Cushion. Hey, Cush. Shout out to Cush, who called in from Tyrone. Thank you very much. Lillian Miller. Okay, Lillian Miller from Tyrone called in. Christy Gampy, Hannah, and the class of 89. Christy Gampy, thank you very much for that pledge. Also, we heard from Holly Lindquist, the class of 1975, when she was Holly Gibbony. Thank you very much, Holly, for that pledge. And last but not least, we have Robin Chamberlain from Tyrone. Thank you very much. 1-800-245-9779. Thank you for all the pledges. There's still time. $75 pledge will give you a DVD of the program you're watching. For $120, we can send you 2 copies. And if you put it on your MasterCard, your Visa, your American Express, or Discover, we'll get it to you before the holidays so you can give one away and keep one for yourself. We're at 160 pledges, 40 more to go, because that's what the mayor says we could do. He says we can get to 200. Now, here's your chance to support the mayor, okay? 1-800-245-9779.
That's right, Tyrone. We want to help Mayor Fink meet his goal of the 200 pledges this evening. So make your call at 1-800-245-9779. 9779. And for a $75 contribution, that'll get you 1 copy of the Our Town DVD. And for a $120 contribution, that'll get you 2 DVDs. And keep in mind, the holidays are coming up, and this can make a great gift for your local library or the Tyrone area school district to get this DVD on the shelves so that your community can check this out and share it around town. I want to thank Bud and Rhonda Bloom from Tyrone. Thank you so much for making your contribution to public television. Thank you for calling in. William Miller from Altoona, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much. As well as Pat Hoven from Tyrone, Pennsylvania. Thank you for calling in. It's calls like these that help bring public television to your TV sets, and we want to hear from you. 1-800-245-9779. Lindsay?
Again, we are working our way toward that Mayor Think Challenge. I think I heard 165 calls. We have 35 to go, and this last pledge break, I believe we can do it. Mayor Fink believes we can do it. Everyone here who showed up to support Our Town Tyrone thinks we can do it, but we need you to make that call or go online and make that pledge to make that goal happen. We also have the challenge of the classes, and we have a very, very forward-thinking pledge here in honor of the class of 2017 from Debbie Briggs of Tyrone. So class of 2017 is representing on behalf of Tyrone. We have Tim Mogul in Tyrone. Thank you for your pledge. Judy Ryan from Tyrone. Thank you again for making your pledge of support and paying it forward to future Our Town projects. Oh, we have another class challenge. Evie Smith Hinderleiter, class of 1956 in Sinking Valley. Thank you so much. And one more here, Susie Winters of Birmingham, Pennsylvania. Susie is a member of Allegheny Chorale, class of 1957, and everyone did a fantastic job. We love hearing feedback like that. Call in, represent your class, represent your town, Our Town Tyrone, represented here on your public television station, WPSU. Do not wait. Make that call, 1-800-245-9779, so we can make that Fink Challenge goal.
That's right. That Fink Challenge goal is at 168 right now. So we have about 30 to go. So if we can keep these phones busy, we have 6 open right now. So give us a call. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. The folks of Tyrone are here to take your calls tonight, your friends and neighbors, and we're anxious to hear from you. This is your last chance to take advantage of that DVD opportunity. If you give a gift at the level of $75, we'll send you 1 Our Town Tyrone DVD as a thank you gift. It's our way of saying thanks for your pledge of $75. If you can step up your giving to $120, we will send you 2 DVD copies. And you maybe want to keep one for yourself and give one to a loved one, or they make great Christmas gifts. If you can put your pledge on a card, our membership department will get those to you by the holidays. So we're doing our best to do that, and I know our membership department will make that happen. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. We do have some more thank yous. We want to thank D. Hicks of Tyrone. Jean and D. Hicks calling in. Thank you. And we also want to thank an anonymous folks from State College calling in to support Our Town Tyrone here on your local public television station, WPSU. Carly.
Thanks, Kevin. I've noticed a pattern of people calling in from their classes. I want to thank Trish Hone. She said from the great class of 1975. She was born in 57, graduated in 1975, now at age 57, and she's still supporting her public television station, WPSU. Thank you so much, Trish, for making your contribution. I also want to thank April Miles from the class of 2006. Thank you so much for making your contribution to public television. For a pledge of $75, that'll get you 1 copy of the Our Town DVD. You'll see all the great stories that you saw tonight, plus a few bonus features that you won't want to miss. And for a contribution of $120, you'll get 2 copies of the DVD. Lindsay.
All right, that's $120, but again, any pledge is supported. We are now at 170 pledges of that 200 pledge goal. I believe we can get there. 1-800-245-9779. If you've been kicked back and enjoying the program, now is the time to make that pledge of support. And we want to say thank you to Jim and Patty Getz, class of 1947 from Revlock, Pennsylvania. We have an anonymous pledge from State College. Patrick Drain, let me see, Pat Drain, rocking class of 1968 from Texas. Sorry, can't read the rest of that note, but from Adkins, Texas. All right, so we have that class challenge going. We're working our way through the different decades. And also John and Bonnie Ramsey, class of 62 and class of 66. So let's hear it for those classes and for almost making our challenge here on Our Town Tyrone tonight on WPSU. Again, any pledge you make now goes towards continuing this great series, paying it forward for the next installment of Our Town. Where will it be? Anybody knows, but your pledge is where it's going to make it possible. And I think we have some more thank yous to say on our way to the Think Challenge. Kevin?
We do. We're on our way to that Think Challenge, and we really appreciate it, Tyrone. And we want to read each and every one of your names here tonight to say that you support your local public television station, WPSU, and we thank that. Hey, we know this is a time of year when a lot of people are asking for gifts or pledges, and we appreciate you taking that time to consider us and give us your pledge of support. We want to thank Lucas Kelher, who called in from Altoona, Pennsylvania, from the law office of Lucas Kelher on behalf of Lucas Rhodes of Tyrone, and good luck to Bishop Guilfoyle football. So hearing a lot from Lucas tonight, we appreciate each and every one of you who take your time to consider your local public television station, WPSU, to consider the great programming that you see here, great stories like Our Town Tyrone, great programming that comes into your home each and every night, from great concerts and music programs to great programs like Downton Abbey, to great programs like Masterpiece and Nova and NewsHour. You know the value you get from it. Our Town is one of my favorite pieces, as well as the great educational programming that we have each and every day. So we encourage you to think about what kind of dollar value you would put on that, and think about giving us a call. We enjoy partnering with all of the communities across central Pennsylvania, and the Our Town series celebrates that. It talks about the great, wonderful programmings and the great, wonderful communities within central Pennsylvania, and that's what we're talking about tonight. We're asking you to put a dollar value on that. 1-800-245-9779. I believe Lindsay or Greg is here. Greg is here with an update. Greg's here with an update. Yeah.
His Honor Mayor Fink will be happy to know that Councilman Bill Latchford called in a pledge. So there we go. So we still have, I think there's only 2 councilmen. How many members of the council? 8. There's only 2, so we're missing 6. Where are you? Okay. Called in a pledge. Thank you very much, Bill. And we also heard from Paul and Carol Swain of Tyrone. So we're at 175 pledges. We're trying to get to 200 because we had a goal of 140, but the mayor just said we can do better. So he made a goal of 200 pledges. So we're trying to get there. So we're like 24 pledges away. 1-800-245-9779. $75 pledge. We can send you a DVD of Our Town Tyrone for $120. 2 DVDs. If you charge it on one of your credit cards, we'll get it to you before the holidays so you can gift it to somebody you love. 1-800-245-9779. Some more thank yous, Lindsay?
We do, and we have some more class challenges. I have to say, class of 1975, you guys are bringing it tonight. I think that's the most I've heard from any class. Chuck Richardson of Tyrone, you're bringing it, class of 1975, although we also have some incoming from the 80s. Rich and Jolene Umholtz from Tyrone, class of 1985 and 1983. I have a note that says this is Paige's mother. And then we also have John Roseberry from Tyrone. John and Nancy Roseberry, thank you. This just in, hot off the presses. Gene Dunn from Saxton, Pennsylvania. Was going to show this to his brother in Richmond, class of 1958, and sister in Maryland, all graduates of Tyrone. So way to go, representing the alumni of Tyrone. We're so close to our Think Challenge. We want to hear from you. 1-800-245-9779. Phones are open. 180, 20 pledges. We can do it. Phones are open. You can go online. Get us to that 200 pledge. Do Tyrone proud. Come on.
So the mayor is busy tonight. He's made another proclamation. He says we're not going off the air until we reach 200. So if you want to see us stick around all night, then don't call. But if you want to get us off the air and move on to the nightly news programs or whatever you watch, then stick around and do that. So 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. And we have 8 phones open right now. So literally, if we can light these phones up about 2 times, thank you very much. And this is your last chance to take advantage of that DVD opportunity. So if you're thinking, oh, that would be a great a gift for the holidays, if you can give us a gift at the membership pledge of $75, we'll send that DVD along to you. If you can step up your giving to $120, we'll send you 2 copies, perhaps one for you and one for a loved one, or 2 great gifts. If you make your pledge on a credit card, we can get those to you right away, and we'll get them to you in time for the holidays. So we encourage you to take advantage of that. A pledge of any amount, though, says that I support great programming like Our Town Tyrone on WPSU, and it makes the next Our Town series possible, which will be starting in 2015. Yeah, can you believe it's 2015 already? Yeah, we're almost there. So we're really looking forward to that. I believe we'll have 18 to go, but we have some thank yous to pass along right now. These classes, as Lindsay was saying, are really stepping up tonight. So we heard from Pat and Gary Griffith. Pat, I believe, is class of 1959, and Gary is class of 1968, or vice versa. So thank you very much for calling in. And we want to thank Richard and Maris Faust of Tyrone, class of 1948. So I believe we've heard from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. I know there was a 2000 in there somewhere, so we're doing really good. And we also want to thank Dylan Lego of Tyrone, Pennsylvania. Dylan and Carolyn Lego, I believe. Carolyn, if I got that wrong, it might be Corbin. Thank you for calling in. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call to say, I support great programming like Our Town Tyrone here on my local television station, my local public television station, WPSU. Greg.
15 more pledges to go to our $200 pledge mayoral challenge. Representing the class of 1987, Tanya Keller Downs from Murraysville, Pennsylvania. Thank you very much, Tanya. Move down the road a bit. Don't forget, $75. We can send you a DVD of Our Town Tyrone. $120. We can send you 2 copies. Just our way of saying thanks. Lindsay.
I think we are so close to that goal. If we fill the phones up one more time, I think we will get there again. The mayor is not going to let us leave until we hit that goal. Kevin, I know, as a beautiful little girl at home, we'd love to get home and be able to say goodnight to you, but only through your support is that going to happen. So please let us go home. 1-800-245-9779. Thank you so much to Robin Deering for getting us one step closer to our warm beds at night. Robin Deering, class of 75, again, class of 75, I think, is taking this challenge. And John Deering, class of 73. So if we have not heard from your class yet, please call in. Also, we're trying to see how many states we can get tonight. I just want to say, especially if you have family who's moved away, what a great holiday gift to give them. This gift of Our Town Tyrone they can keep anytime they might be feeling homesick or missing the folks back home. They can pop in that DVD and think of their hometown and know that they have paid it forward to the next Our Town in the Our Town series. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to pay that forward. And again, Paula and Bill McPhail from Tyrone, class of 73 and 75. Again, 75. All right, we want to thank you for your pledge of support. Again, any amount is appreciated. During Kids Pledge, we get kids calling in who've got their lemonade stand money, so any amount goes towards these programmings, and each and every dollar is appreciated. Kevin?
Yeah, Lindsay, thank you for thinking about my little girl's welfare. I hope she's not staying up tonight to watch, but if you want to help her get to bedtime, if she is, then maybe you want to give us a call. Mayor Fink just stepped in and told me that he's very proud of the town, and so we wanted to pass that along to you. He's very proud of Our Town Tyrone. We're within 10 to 15, so if we can get this, as Lindsay said, if we can get this round of phones lit up one more time, I think we're going to be there, and we want to thank each and every one of you for that. We want to thank Sally Gardner, Dave and Sally Gardner calling in from Altoona, Pennsylvania. I don't know if they're any relation to the Gardners or not, but we thank them for their pledge of support from Gardner's Candies. 1-800-241-90. So we got 10 to go. We have one phone open right now. So if we can just basically light these phone ups one more time, we will be there. 1-800-245-9779. If you can make a membership pledge at the level of $75, we will send you Our Town Tyrone as a thank you gift. If you could step up your giving to $120, we will send you 2 DVDs, one for you to keep and one to pass along to a loved one, or 2 great holiday gifts. If you can make your pledge on a credit card, our membership department will work as Santa's elves over the next couple weeks to get them to you in time for the holidays. So 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. We thank the great people, as Mayor Fink has been saying, of Tyrone for coming in tonight to answer the calls and for stepping up to support their local public television station, WPSU.
And by Santa's elves, we mean Michelle Chernega and crew, who will work diligently to get all of the DVDs out before the holidays. But you have to put it on a credit card, and that's call us at 1-800-245-9779. Go online to WPSU.org. You can make your pledge there very easily. Thanks to Annette Bradigan for making a pledge earlier on. We thank her very much. We'd like to thank you. The Our Town Project was started in 1996 as a way for us to connect with the communities we serve. It's been a wonderful way for us to connect with those communities. And we've done 80 productions. This is the 80th, and it's still going strong because of viewers like you. So call right now at 800-245-9779. We're down to like how many? 8 to go. 8 pledges to go. 8 to get to 200. That's amazing. 200 pledges, 8 more pledges for our 8, okay? 1-800-245-9779. Lindsay?
Okay, we're so close, and we have some more pledges coming in. Thank you to Larry and Sherry Durman, class of 1957 and 1966 of Tyrone. Rita and Ernie Dick. To Mayor Fink, Rita is on break. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe Mayor Fink knows. Sounds like it means something. Alrighty, and then Kevin Ross from State College. Thank you, Kevin. We are so close to hitting that Fink challenge. Annette Bradigan, we just got from Tyrone. And I see another class of Charles and Bonnie Butterbaugh-Hauser from Tyrone, class of 1958 and 1959. Thank you so much. 5 more. We can do it. We can do it. We're so close. It's been a great night. Lots of community support. We got this one already. Last 2 minutes. You have time. You can still get your name right on the air, so you can be part of that proud public television supporting crew walking around tomorrow. Get your class in. I think we can not only meet that 200 pledge goal, I think we can beat it. So make that call, 1-800-245-9779. We've got some more pledges to thank, Kevin.
Absolutely. Tyrone Area High School, you are making us proud. So Betty Casper calls in, class of 1937. Betty, thank you for calling in. Thank you. And we want to thank Brett Weaver, who called in, class of 1977. So we're hearing from 50 years apart there, and we're hearing from the 70s a lot tonight, but I think we might have every decade covered. We'll have to retabulate that in a little bit. 1-800-245-9779 is the numbers to call. As Mayor Feek has been saying, Tyrone is making them proud. I believe we have how many to go? We got to go. 2 to go. 2 to go. We need 2 more rings. 2 more calls. 2 more calls. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. If you can make a membership pledge at the amount of $75, we'll be glad to send along Our Town Tyrone to you. If you can step up your giving to $120, we'll be glad to send you 2 copies of Our Town Tyrone. That is your last chance to get Our Tyrone, so Our Town Tyrone. So you're going to want to take advantage of that. As Greg just said, I believe we have 1 call we need, so we're just listening for that ring. 1-800-245-9779 is the number to call. And a pledge of any amount lets us know that you appreciate the Our Town series, Our Town Tyrone, and all of the future towns that we've been doing. This is our 80th program, and as Greg was saying earlier, this is something we started to reach out and work with the communities in our area. One more. Greg.
Need one more. Yeah. Lynn and Teresa Merriman from Port Matilda, class of 76 and 77. They came together. We're all coming together here. It's a 4-shot. Hi. And so we still need one more. We have 30 seconds. $75 get you an Our Town DVD. $120 for 2 DVDs. Kevin.
1-800-245-9779 is that number to call. Carly.
Thank you so much, Tyrone, for having a great night and sharing this evening with us. It was a pleasure to work on this story.
One more call. Tyrone will shine. Go online or call that number now.
Great job, Tyrone.
You can also make your pledge at WPSU.org. Click on Contribute at the top of the page. It's always available and easy to use. Thanks. This is WPSU Clearfield, an outreach service of Penn State.